Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings. I am seeing the little icon that says that I am moving slow, so I am hoping that I'm not, because if I am, then you're just seeing me probably not talk. So I'll hear from Matthew in a second if I am, but kind of worries me. Don't really want to start off right away. So are you guys hearing me? Let me know. I got a bunch of stuff open. All right. Let's just get into this. How is everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? It's still a work in progress with this car. I'm waiting to hear back from them. Now the guy thinks that it might be the transmission. Oh boy, I can't wait. Feel like this is gonna be my Christmas gift to myself. So anyway, how was everyone else's weekend? I know we just talked on Friday, so it's kind of hard to remember everything that we already went over, and then I was on with Oz on Saturday, so I feel like I've been on here an awful lot. Anyway, if you haven't seen me, if you haven't been watching, a bunch of new videos up. Got the Roadblock Mezco in. I really like that figure. I'm already hearing people kind of complain, which I don't really understand what the complaint is. An absolute wonderful figure. And then I got the Python Patrol officer slash trooper. I also got the Python Patrol. What the heck? Um, okay. Also got the Python Patrol Copperhead. You guys don't know that because nobody's watched the video. It's just sitting there. And then the Trouble Bubble, which is sitting right there. So there you go. Look for that. That will go up tomorrow, probably about 5 p.m. I think that's when I'm gonna drop it. Anyway, all right, guys. I got a few things to go over before we get into anything. I'm gonna say it, Ed. I don't know if I have enough to get through 3 hours. Although I like this topic, to be honest, I really do. I think we're gonna have a good discussion. By discussion, I mean me talking. We already got 39 people in here. Hit that like button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I don't know why you'd be here. We are well over 3,000. And 4,000 is going to come real early in 2024. So, Black Genghis, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I did. Until Black Friday, when they pretty much said my car is a big paperweight right now. So, let's get to everyone. Let's say hi to everyone because there's so many of you already chatting that it's going to take me quite some time to get through this. Oh, look, you want to say hi? Let's say hi. Say hi. And Roman is making an early appearance. Say hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There you go. Now, I had to let you out, like, right before we went on. Sorry. Quickly, let's say hi to PNC, one of the channel members here. Masterversal Toy Hunter, member for 2 months. Thank you very much. Action Figs, one of my two moderators. Newfie Fort, 4024. Thanos Copter. Check out his Instagram page only if you have a strong stomach. Paul Morales. Nolan is here. Grape 0001, which actually that's just Grape 1. Let's see here. Tony's Figs. He gets mad when I don't put the S on it. Down South 77 is here. Johnny Reno, who was gracious enough to donate the figure Cage's Customs for the giveaway. And no, it has not gone out yet. Gotta give me some time. We got Ricky Boyd here. James Lucas, another channel member right now. Let's see who else is here. Cobra Commander is in the house. Matthew Matson, the first moderator. What they say goes, and we're pretty good here. Mike Lappe, Lap. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Brick something, who is going to be on my Thursday with a friend on December 7th. I hope you haven't forgotten, Brick. I doubt that he did. Backwoods 77 or 78 is here. I don't know where I got 77. We got Fat Red. Some people call him Fat Red Fu, Fat Red Foo. I just call him Fat Red, and he loves it. Carol is in the house. Thank you very much. Let's just see. Anyone else? Anyone else? Did I say Matt? I think I said Thanos Capt. Oh, yes, because I mentioned his amazing page. Eric Thurman is here. So many people already here. All right, so let's just get into something. And we said hi to Black Genghis earlier. Darth Burke, who did win. What's up, Punk? Did you get the email with my contact? Yes, I did. I do apologize. I did not respond, but yes, I did get it. But I have not sent anything out, but it will be going out, I promise. Ricky Boyd. Let's see, you guys are chatting already, which makes this absolutely wonderful. Justin Neister. Damn it, Larry. Nice sticker. You know what, man? I cannot get the top off it. Driving me nuts. Well, you can't see it back there. You can't see the little crosses that are through it. Will R is in the house. Let's see. So many others. I think we got about everyone. Rolando Flores. But so many, and I think we're getting to the point that I can't really get through all of them because there's 47 of you watching already. I gotta say hi to Ostradamus. Again, if you didn't know, I went to New Jersey for work. Oh, wait, we already did that, didn't we? Black Friday. Oh, yeah, I was just off all last week. Anyway, I have to say hi to Oz. Okay, so there's a lot to get into, but there are some things that I want to mention, all right? So if I missed you, I do apologize. We will get to it. And listen, I am going to show for a little bit here. All right? I'm just going to say it. And I am going to drop the link. But I was voted for the Nerdies as Toy YouTuber Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's a chance in hell that I'm going to win because there's someone else on here. There's a few people on here, but there's one that has a pretty big backing. But hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna chill out, man. So if you guys care to, go in there, vote on it. I think it's actually pretty cool what Big Nerdy does in general. I saw this last year. And I'm gonna pump this throughout the night just because. Listen, I want to win. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna totally show here, and this really works out to be. Hey, you had your chance last year, buddy. This actually works out, to be honest. I started doing live streams just a year ago, so I only put in like just over a month in 2022. So this, in all honesty, works for live streaming. Yes, I've been doing YouTube for a while, but listen, click that link. I'll be doing it. And listen, I'm going to post it a couple times, probably throughout the night on my Instagram. Listen, I want to at least have a showing, man. Let's at least have a showing, okay? Because this doesn't get done without all of you, man. And I really do mean it. I know why most of you tune in here, what you enjoy about me. I'm not for everyone. I will upset people. I know that. But there's a lot of people that have stuck with me because they're willing to listen to my voice and not care what others say. But I'm just saying stuff that's on my mind. And so the Nerdies are out. Matthew, Ed, you guys are more than welcome to drop that link throughout it, because if I win, in all honesty, it's a thing for all of us. Jerk's got at least one vote. Does it show you? It doesn't show you the votes, does it? I don't think that he is a rookie, but I could be wrong. He can't pronounce or probably spell rookie either, so I don't know. There's that. But anyway, and I will say this: the one thing that I did notice is because I was actually watching when it happened. They did mention hella dope toys. and he didn't put them on. He said, I didn't realize they had a YouTube channel. I knew they had a store. Now, I don't know if he left them off for a reason. I didn't realize I left this kicking space. So anyway, I want to go to Hello Dope Toys right now. And last night they were giving thanks to the people in their community that have helped. And I was thinking of doing the same thing, but fuck, I do this all on my own. I don't need anyone's help. Just kidding. You guys know how I feel about all of you. And I want to say a big shout out and big thank you to them. They did mention me pretty early on. And Aaron even made sure that he didn't say Michigan, especially after they got their ass beat for the third time in a row. But it's okay. It's all in good fun, except when Michigan was 1-18 against them. But hey, back in the Cooper years, it was great. But I want to say thank you to them. Like I said, I rub people the wrong way because I don't cower to people. I don't just pick one side. I speak my, what I actually feel and what I believe. And sometimes it bothers people. And, I will speak out against other boisterous people because I have a different opinion. And the fact that they've stuck with me is awesome. The fact that they've given me a commercial. Ted has said that he wants to work on doing a second commercial for Hella Dope Toys, which I do believe is still 25% off through today. So Cyber Monday, hit them up. There's also, again, you guys all know my links. Entertainment Earth is having 25% off also anything in stock. And I think you also get a 10% on top of it if you use my link. I've mentioned all those before. But anyway, I don't know why I brought them up. This is me going all over the place because, again, this is rambling. I'm trying to read a lot of what everyone is saying. So, Big Bacon just said something. So Nolan says he already went and voted for me. Thank you very much. Again, like it really does mean a lot, man. Like it's cool. Just the fact that, listen, you put a lot of hard work into doing this. And I mentioned before to you guys, listen, the reason why I appreciate the super chats, the memberships, anything like that is you are basically saying, hey, thank you. You don't see all the time that goes behind these, sitting in this chair behind the screen. And it's not really for you. It's kind of the same way as with a TV show or whatever. But again, they're getting paid. We've seen how actors and athletes and how they act. So anyway, if you're just jumping here, 58 right here, let's drop this link again. Again, I'm gonna shill hard until this thing is until it's done. So anyway, and Aaron, I need you to shoot me an email with your address to apunkwithtoys@gmail.com so I can get you out that 3D printed stuff. So, you know what? So this. Oh wait, okay. I thought so. And here's the other thing. I want you guys to understand, like this whole Rookie of the Year thing, the best toy tuber. The way he said he's doing it now is that he's going to. It's only one time, and rather than doing like the best YouTuber, he wants to try and promote young guys coming up every year. So I think it would be awesome next year if when they do it, a bunch of us get on a stream. Unfortunately, I did it Monday right before we went on and vote on a bunch of the guys that are here and gals like Alice and Troy. So I think that's awesome. It just gives recognition. We don't have to keep giving the big guys recognition all the time. And it's nice to see someone with such a large following giving recognition to the smaller people. Okay. But back to the Hella Dope, I did want to say, thank you to Ted and Aaron. They really do mean a lot. Again, meeting them, Travis, Ed, all those guys at PowerCon, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully we can continue these types of meetups and everything like that. So I do want to get to the memberships really quick. If you ever make it to the end of one of my my videos, you will see that I post in the old logo. Well, one of the other logos, I have the names of every single channel member. I'm gonna be redoing it again this weekend with all the channel members. So if it's something that you're interested in, your name is going to be there. It'll be there forever. It's not like I can go back and fix that or change that. So if you want to see your name there, do it. I kind of held back because there's a lot of memberships that were given, and it's so much work, especially the way I do everything archaic. What do you get if you win? You know what? I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, I think 3POA won last year, and they just had like a little video clip on there. So I don't know, except for he does a whole thing at the end where it's kind of he does an award ceremony. So it's cool. Okay, so I gotta ask. It's tempting to vote for It's Cobb, but I sent. Wait, now are you It's Cobb? Because I saw that, and at first I thought he spelled Chad's name wrong, which I'm like, that would be a huge fuck up. Because you'd fuck up It's and Chad's Chad. Um, so yeah, so I'm not sure. They said a certain toy company wants to add you to their stream to steal your fans. Yeah. Well, you know what? That type of shit does happen. I think it's awesome. 69 people watching right now. Thank you all very much. Man, I'm just looking. I don't have much to talk about other than to get into the news, and it's crazy. I hear people get through the news in like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I drag it on for what seems like forever. But I think that's what you guys like. Is there anything else to discuss? This Thursday on Punks on Film, we're not going to be doing a movie, but I haven't figured out with Matthew what are we actually going to be doing. Are we going to be talking about the best Christmas movies, or did we want to discuss? Did we want to discuss Dave Filoni taking over Star Wars, the creative control? And he's not the only one taking it over, just so you guys understand. There's someone else that's kind of also involved. It looks like it's kind of pushing Kathleen Kennedy out, which would be interesting. There's no doubt about that. Or maybe it's her retirement. It could be her retirement next year. So we're going to be doing one or the other. It is Christmas time, but we kind of want to change it up. So also 67 people. That means there's 67 people. All of you go to Punks on Film. Matthew, drop the link and just hit that subscribe button, please. We've been sitting at like 63 subscribers forever. Now we just dropped down to 63. Please. That's our other channel. Go ahead and like it. My vote, watch Die Hard and Lethal Weapon at the same time. My God. Okay, so I want to just so let's so here's what's funny. Matthew and I actually were talking about this. So it seemed like such an easy idea to like watch a movie and then we're gonna discuss it. Yes, we have a movie channel that we've been doing now for like 6 months, Matthew. It's it seemed like such an easy idea. All right, you know what? We're gonna watch a movie. Everyone thought it was cool. They'll all watch it and then we'll talk about it. Let me just tell you, a hour and a half to 2 hour movie seems like okay, we'll sit down on the weekend and watch it. And you start realizing like you watch the movie, then sometimes you go and then you watch it again, and you're doing these notes, and you turn a 2 hour movie into 6 hours on a Saturday or Sunday night, taking pictures, doing all this stuff. It is so time consuming. And then you get on here and you do it, and like 9 people are watching, and all these people were interested in it, and you're just like, come on, where is everyone, man? So I'm trying to find new ways to kind of just spice it up. Matthew and I want to, spice it up. We like what we're doing, but obviously it's not grabbing everyone's attention. So we just got to figure out something else. And I did think talking about Dave Filoni was a pretty good idea. But it's also Christmas time, so I kind of like the fact of just ranking the best Christmas movies. Just so you know, Jingle All the Way is in the top 5 because it is really that awesome. So, let's see here. Wherever you go, there you are. Hold on, I'm trying to read what Todd said that Matthew was referring to. Oh, yes, we discussed doing that one. We had like a whole list of movies, but man, it starts to take it takes its time. Yeah, you know what? Jingle All the Way. Like that's one of those ones that kind of got better because it's so bad. But now that you're a toy collector and you saw how bad Christmas has gotten, and now everyone with a camera, good lord, it's absolutely crazy. So anyway, I should have done this. We should have been doing this more often. And then the other thing that I do want to start possibly doing is kind of pushing some of these younger, like picking one person and getting you guys to go over and just subscribe. Now, I'm not going to ask anyone to subscribe to someone that I don't think that they would enjoy their content. We've discussed this, how people will constantly sub to you, and then they sub to you, and then they unsub and sub until you sub to them because they want this like one for one. But I do like the idea of some of these other content creators that you may not realize are content creators, like Oz, who's been working really hard, and Payne you really should be because his Friday nights are awesome. He'll make people cry and different things like that. All about toys. So anyway, okay. So have I showed enough? You guys understand that I'm up for a nerdy for the rookie of the year, which some of you guys probably going like, "Fuck, dude, you've only been doing this a year." God, it feels like it's been 10 years. I mean, how much I've grayed since it started, and I was bald, but all right. So 65 of you watching, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button here. Definitely over there, hit the subscribe button. And what I'm going to do, because there's so many more of you, I'm going to drop the link one more time to vote. I love this. You've only wasted 25 minutes. Keep rambling. Listen, I'm just going to tell you, if you're new to the channel, that's how I get 3 hours done. I know exactly what I'm doing. I seriously need to purge my subs. Too many I don't even watch. You know what? YouTube kind of does it for you. There's no doubt about it. YouTube starts to do that for you. They're like, you're not watching that? But man, don't even watch a video of someone you don't like because all of a sudden YouTube goes, oh, you like this content? You're like, no, I just want to hear what the idiot said because someone said he said something. And next thing you know, you can't go anyway without seeing some island full of snakes and YouTubers that can't speak the English language, all just filling up your timeline, and you're like, I got to go to like unsolved mysteries type stuff, you know, and then that will fill it up, and you have like 48 hours and everything like that. So, Darth Berkey, how many Batman figures have been announced since you started? Well, Allison, give us a head count. Yes, technically there should be at least 66 votes for you. Well, actually, there should be more because I saw it at least at 69. Now, I'm watching on one screen. Matthew's probably watching on 2 screens. Some of you have like 2 screens open at times. It's cool. I get it. I know Allison will watch like 4 different shows. I do it at times too to there's a couple channels that I like that have live streams going at the same time, and I'll have them both going. And for someone that is as squirrel as me, I can listen to both, and I'll kind of turn one up and turn the other one up when I'm listening to something. Um, but I will say this, you know, when it comes to hella dope toys, Geek Dad Life, unfortunately, as much as I mean, I am a channel member there. Without John on there, the show is just not the same. I know a lot of people don't like Geek Dead Life as it is, but man, I gotta say, it's not the same. And they have some really good fill-ins. I mean, even when like Ken's been on, if Dole is on, they have a really good chemistry, but it's just not the same when his actual co-host isn't on. So Thanos says, I left my YouTube logged in on the living room TV, and my roommate had me flooded with wrestling vids forever. That happens. I'll tell you what, man. It is for me because I'm driving. I'll just turn on a YouTube video that I can listen to, right? So I'll get on these like unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and the stream is just absolutely full. Um, and now I'll watch a couple skate videos. The next thing I know, it's just skate videos. And the toy tubing stuff gets really pushed down. And here's another thing: when you're doing this as much as I am, you find yourself watching a lot less toy tubers, um, just because you're so burnt out of it. Other than the the people that you actually have created a relationship and a bond with. God, that sounded very homoerotic. Sounds like a Thanos copter Instagram. So, Ellison says, sometimes I bet Lawrence listened to that butterfly song by Crazy Town on repeat back to the mid 2000s and even had a little dance choreographed to impress the chicks at the club. Hell no. But I will say this, Allison, every time I hear that awful Mariah Carey Christmas song, no matter what version it is, no matter who's doing it, no matter if it's in some parody, I think of you now because you told me how much you love that that thing. So all right, let's get into it. I have successfully wasted 28 minutes of your time, and there's 68 people, which let's be honest, man, at least 40 of you have got to be going, what the fuck is this guy talking about, man? And I barely even mentioned my car, which I'm hoping it's okay. So here's the other thing: when I took my car in today and I talked to the guy because I had to take it from Firestone, they said it's a rear differential. And the guy's like, "Well, I'll give it a drive and let you know." He goes, "But if it is the rear differential, yeah," he goes, "we don't even rebuild them anymore. We can't. They're assembly. They're about $2,000 or a couple grand," he said, and they're on back order from like 3 to 6 months. I'm like, what am I supposed to do then? But yeah, so I'm just like, whatever. And then he called me and he said, I drove it. Sounds like you might be coming from the trans, but I got to get it up on the hoist, and we'll take a look at it. And if so, you have to take a trans shop. So, yes, it it needs the floor mat realignment. You know what? If that's like $30, I'm all for it, man. I gotta tell you, man. I didn't even want to go into. I'm just like, it's a way to put a damper on everything. um, the Fatcher says, no, Lawrence, this is standard. We're all still here anyway. Well, you know what? Remember, there's not 64 of you right now. There's not 64 of you right now watching. I mean, there's not 64, 65 of you commenting. You know, that's it. Yes, Firestone, because they do all my work, and all the parts have a lifetime guarantee on them. So if I ever move or something breaks down and it's done there, but that's just where I took it. They told me they couldn't fix it because they don't do that. So I just sent it to an actual rear end specialist. Yeah, I said rear end specialist. All right. That's what she said. All right. God damn, I can go on for like 3 hours like this and not talk news. But hey, let's get into it. Masters of the Universe. I know you guys love this. I don't think I have very much. There's not very much, to be honest. All right. So we get to see the cover of this Trap Jaw, and I believe these actually came from. I'm trying to remember where I got these from. Either got these from thefrush.com or Toy Habits. And the only reason I did this was this is an homage to the mini comic Trap Jaw, I do believe, but you actually have Tila right here. Hey, listen, 65, you don't leave yet. I don't have a lot of Motu stuff. I know everyone likes to drop out. So I'm scared when I see this packaging because we know the last packaging that looked like this, it was a $40 figure. And I saw Moss Man on Black Friday, and let me just tell you, it's not worth $40. It is if you do really cool commercials and stuff. But this is a Build-A-Figure wave. So this metal dude, you see it better, but this is the mouse jaw. And so you have a metal Bato. And if people didn't realize, if you are in the Motu and you're looking at this line, I noticed right away all the weapons that come with Trap Jaw are Robotos. So it is a little bit different. But the fact that they're doing a Build-A-Figure is pretty unique because I don't believe they've done anything like that. So, but yeah, so that's it. That's, as you can see, it's already switched. All right, on to McFarlane really quick. Says, don't worry, it's a Walmart exclusive. It basically doesn't exist. Well, again, I saw a whole bunch of Mossman Black Friday. I think Aaron said he saw a whole bunch of them, and they were just sitting there because no one wants to spend $40 on that. I usually say that, the Motu figures are really a good deal, except for that. Except for that one. Like, what the hell are they thinking? Like, I don't get it because that Panther is much bigger and that whole thing is flocked and it's $40. So Cobb leaves after the Motu. Hey, Cobb, I wanted to ask you, I haven't reached out to you yet, if you are interested in doing a Thursday with a friend, probably in January. So hit me up. I keep meaning to message you. I got to start lining those up. So I do want to get you on. So, all right, on to McFarlane toys. There'll probably be a repaint in here. I'm just saying. Oh, look, a repaint before this one's even come out. So I did see this on the Foosh, and this is the Superpowers or Super Friends paint. So Tony, if you haven't got this Wonder Woman yet, or you haven't got the McFarlane Wonder Woman, you might want to hold off and see if you can find this one. So she has blue bracelets, which is what she had in, I believe, the cartoon, or what the Superpowers figure actually had. And I believe, I thought I had another picture of her. Maybe I put it out of order. But anyway, but there is a few things that are different. I know people have been waiting for this figure. He says, I like the first release, got it pre-ordered. Yeah, it'll probably be like the hard one to find. Like Wonder will probably be the hard one to find, and it'll be like, see, I didn't make that many, and it's really hard to find, so I'm not going to make any more. I can't believe it's taking this long to get like actual Wonder Woman out. Those card stands are not worth the extra $5 in my opinion. I've actually never seen one in person, like out of the box or anything. I don't even know if I've seen one in the box. It's a nice idea, but all right. So here we have a few other figures. Now, I gotta say, I think these figures actually look pretty decent. So, Red Tornado here. I think the tornado below him, at least this production shot looks really good. I think it's pretty cool. And I know it's just him, like them just stepping it in there. Um, James Lucas, is Larry still talking? I'm looking at Thanos toy porn. Well, James, you can always watch this on the replay because if you've gone down that rabbit hole, you may you may not be coming back. Ray Paz says, "Yeah, this looks good. I'm shocked. Yeah, I saw this. I'm not even a Red Tornado fan, but I just looked at this and I'm like, this looks really good. And at least from this shot here, when you look at how his boot is, it almost looks like it's a separate piece, or it almost looks like the boot is a separate piece, like you would pop it on, but it's just something they step into. So here's what he looks like in general, which I think looks good. I like the fact that the collar of his cape is a little bit different, so it's not just symmetric on both sides. It actually looks like it's kind of flowing in the wind. And you can see here, you can kind of put both his feet in it. It looks like that's how they have it here. But I was very impressed. Like when I came across this, I have no like no attachment to Red Tornado, and I saw this and I'm like, this is a good looking figure. And Todd, man, sometimes he puts out some amazing looking figures, and other times you're like, what the hell are you doing? Like GI Joe puts out like the one Falcon head sculpt, which is awful, and people are like, "Oh my god, they make such bad head sculpts," and it's like, "Nah, they did one." Todd does like 30 bad ones out of like I don't know 60 of them, and you're like, "Okay, look how good this one looks," and you ignore all the really bad ones. So here's everything that he comes with. He comes with an extra set of hands. He comes with a card, but no stand. So. Uh, Sergeant Reds and Collectibles, I joined just in time for McFarlane. So quickly here, Sergeant Reds, I just saw. Congratulations to you, John. I knew this. You told me this was happening. A toy store near you, Christmas Eve, his store is going to be shown off there. He's going to have an episode with it. So, and I would definitely make sure to promote it before as we're getting into Christmas Eve, because I like that whole series to begin with. But my toy store, which is gonna look nothing like it looks like now, John. I mean, you told me about this like 6 months ago, so I don't even know when they did it. And your store is completely different now, and maybe you'll have the upstairs open by then. But anyway, you'll still see how big the store is. Like I said, I am lucky here. I know we're off topic as always, and we're gonna minimize this. Again, I know off topic. I am lucky enough to have a bunch of really good toy stores in my area where a lot of guys are like, I don't even have one. Within 45 minutes, I can hit a bunch of really good ones. But in all honesty, Sergeant Reds, they are the best toy store in Michigan. And again, we have good ones. But what I like most about John, and listen, I'm gonna wax poetically here. I go with my fucking kid, and him and my daughter. They go back and forth. And you can tell he doesn't get aggravated, and that means the world to me. Even though my daughter's 14, and believe me, you think I give out a lot of shit? She's like 10 times worse than me. You guys have seen her, so anyway. Christmas Eve. Again, I will be promoting a little bit more. You guys know that. All right. On to Animal Man. And he comes with a badger, Wolverine. It's not Maize and Blue, so I don't know if it's yeah. Yes, she does have sweaty hands. Okay, so Tony says Wolverine. Tony says Wolverine, which means I would assume that Travis Moody will probably go and get it. Although he didn't know who the University of Michigan was till Tom Brady started playing for uh, New England, but whatever. He's a Michigan fan. Anyway, unfortunately, there's no articulation because Todd's not going to give you articulation in an animal. But if you want a Wolverine, here it is. A matter of fact, I want to say this: if you're not a football fan, I'm sorry. Tony's probably seen it. They have all the Heisman commercial, they all the commercials with all the Heismans living in the Heisman house, and Charles Woodson, great Michigan Wolverine, talks about why they never had a mascot. So he ordered a Wolverine so he'd have a mascot in the house, and then he finds out why. But the Ohio State guy is the one that found out why you don't have a Wolverine as your mascot. All right, anyway, he's got this creepy hand. I don't know anything about this guy. I just know the hand definitely creeps me the fuck out. It really does. And I know some people have kind of complained. I heard the Frush talking about it because he's got the picture has the jacket on it. Todd's gonna drop one with a jacket on it. Here's a jacket, as you can see. But if you want a Wolverine, if you just want an animal companion, he doesn't have to move. But hey, that's what you're gonna get. And quickly, I want to say hi to Largo. Hey, a while ago, you invited me to come on. Let's figure out a time to do that. Let's figure out something. Hey, listen, I've got a lot of spots opening up for Thursday with a friend, too. So, I'm just throwing that out there really quickly. I'm going to go on the world tour as I try and win the Rookie of the Year for the Nerdies. I'm gonna go on the world tour, trying to get on shows. No, you won't see that. Although Saturday in Oz, I will be promoting it like crazy. All right, so Jokerized Batgirl. We have made so many jokes about Jokerizing things. We've made so many jokes about Jokerizing things, and all I have to say is I like this color scheme on Batgirl. I know it makes no sense. I don't understand it other than it's just Jokerized. You son of a bitch. No, it's cool. You guys are more than welcome to vote. Hey, who's ever on there, I'm sure they are deserving. I know some of the guys that are on there. I've heard of some of them. I watched some of their channels. The one thing that I realized in that list of rookies is how many channels that I have not even heard of myself, which was actually kind of shocking. You think being on this, you would at least hear of at least half of them. I want to say there's 3 that I've actually heard of. So anyway, back to this Batgirl. It works. I love the purple, the green, the yellow. It's a good looking figure. It makes no sense. But if you don't collect and you're just like, hey, if you don't collect like Batman stuff, and you're just like, that just looks pretty cool. I want it in the back, back of my, in my display. Pick it up, man. I just think it's pretty cool. The torso cut indeed, John. Yeah, you know what? McFarlane has a real issue with doing this. Maybe this is a half shirt. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, it could, at least on the women, it could work as a half shirt. Although we talked about the '80s men that also had it. So, yeah, the face paint is done well too. I like the fact that there's not a bunch of like face paint on it. It's just white. I don't know. It looks really good. I don't know. Again, it's a stupid thing, but I like it. All right. And here's everything that you get, and you can see they throw in like 4 different cards. Again, they do a lot of different things in here, and I think it's pretty cool. So Oh, you know what, Largo? It's weird, but kind of Mardi Gras. You know what? You are absolutely right. Like that is, yeah, that it. I can definitely see that right there. And let's say hi to Orion Sweeney. Evening. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a good enough weekend. I'm not going to complain too much. Although complaining gets viewers, so I should complain more. Wait, that's what all my topics are about. Complaining. Yeah. Do we throw beads then? No. Well, you know what? Maybe that's why it looks like it's a half shirt. Maybe you throw beads at her. Yeah, you throw the beads, and then she can actually pull up what we think is a bad torso cut, and you can see everything. She comes with an apron. I'm assuming you're talking about the DC thing, the card thing. Kind of looks like an apron. So it says you're the only person on the list I know. I've never heard of anyone else on that list. Come on, you've heard of Chad. I know you have. You're not Articulated Chad, and then he changed his name because of Articulated Ninja and Highly Articulated, who we found out is really moderately articulated because he's big into the Super 7 Ultimate. Sorry, Adam, if you're listening. White titties, and green nips. All right. And this is where the sex spots start to come in. All right. We've looked at this enough. All right. Mafex dropped a couple different things here. So here we have a Riddler. And I apologize for who it is from. It's from a storyline. Matthew, I'm sure you'll be able to drop. I think they said Hush. Doesn't come with very much. $100. I do believe is actually what it is. Johnny said, I actually don't know Chad. Never seen any of his videos. Okay. Well, hey, listen. You just got to vote for me. So. Okay. So I actually, I did see these right before, and I actually have it open over here. So I think it is something, if we have time, we're going to discuss it. Just because I know Ed probably is just going to love those. But I did just happen to see it. So yeah, I do have the window open. All right. So here is this. I wanted to say Joker, but it's the Riddler. It's this is the Riddler, but this is kind of all the Jokerized colors that McFarlane keeps dropping, isn't it? But as you can see, it looks pretty good. He doesn't come with very much. A couple different head sculpts. He's got the hat, his question mark cane. But they do make him look pretty, I'm not going to say menacing, because this guy wouldn't scare you. You just know that he's up to no good. So, again, if you're into Mafex, $100, I think it's kind of steep. I mean, I know what Mafex are, but for what they actually give. Yeah, I believe this is the Hush Riddler. Nope. I decided I want to. Okay. Yeah, I believe this is the Hush Riddler. And Matthew says Mafex Hush line is awesome. So Matthew, are you gonna get this? Because I know you've been into a lot of the stuff. And I've seen a lot of your pictures. So this is pretty much what he comes with. A little bit of money, a bag, and a cane. All right. And then comes Luke Skywalker. And I gotta say, I think this looks pretty good for the most part. Now, I know not everyone is willing to spend $100 on a figure. As you can see, I have not had a problem when it comes to these Mezco G.I. Joes that I've been picking up but yeah. Okay, no, it does not look like, who said that? Where'd I go? It does not look like Ezra Miller. I don't know where I saw that. I saw someone just say it looks like Ezra Miller. It does not. It's not the greatest face sculpt. I will give you that. But all in all, everything else looks really good on this. And if you don't like his face, you can kind of cover up with his cloak, which I think it looks really cool. When soft goods are done right, they knock it out of the park. Anyone who does soft goods, when they do it right, it's knocked out of the park. It gives you a nice feel for everything. But yeah, this looks really good. The Mafex are 60 to 80 on Ami. If you order from BBTS, there's always a charge. Well, okay, so I understand you guys have your little inside that you order from somewhere else. I have never ordered from there. I've actually never ordered a Mafex. So if I ever do, then yeah, I will definitely order, using a different place. Says that lightsaber better let it for $100. Well, again, you know what? Listen, I've watched the shit you buy. What'd you buy? What do you have? 20 of the 3 packs of the Viper 3 packs, Aaron. So I don't want to hear shit from you about how much what something better give you for what it costs. You don't have a problem spending a whole shitload of money on action figures. All right. So I like the little walking. Looks like it'd be cool if it had like a dragging, make it look like he's like dragging across the ground and sparks are flying up. But no one, I'll tell you what, no one does anything. No one puts any thought into what they can do with Star Wars just to kind of make it look a little better. Does anyone have like blast effects for them? I mean, why are there not, blue and red laser blast effects for a lot of these Star Wars figures? Or just effects where like it's just dragging across. You don't have to do exactly everything that you saw in the movie. So Aaron says, I'm gonna buy one and make it light up. You do that. But then it ruins your whole thing. It better cost this much. It better light up for that much. And then you're like, I'm just gonna do it myself. But they got some pretty good promo shots, and kind of, I gotta say this: we discussed how Hasbro does not ever show like backgrounds with Marvel or Star Wars, especially not Star Wars. And he's right here. I saw him a second ago, I thought. Black Genghis had kind of messaged me and he said, I think a lot of that has to do with there's so many hoops they have to go through with, Lucasfilm and or Disney that it's just easier to put on a white or black background. Where G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, they don't have to do that. And you always see Hasbro stuff. And the more and more I look at stuff, I see less and less where the Star Wars figures and other lines too ever put like background. Do hardly any promo shots that make it look good or anything. They're just, here's what the figure looks like and here's what you do. So and he does have the glove again. I don't know. Robo was saying that it looks like this is more the Mandalorian one than just a Jedi Luke. So I don't know the difference. He has a black outfit on. It all looks the same to me. And then they always have the lightsaber that looks like he's actually in the process of swinging it. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Also, I'd like to say it's nice to have the rejects from A Toy Kind of Mood here. Black Genghis, Ryan Sweeney, and of course Tony's Figs. That's the Toy Kind of Mood rejects. I'm glad to see you guys here. Anyway. And he kind of looks like he's got a creepy hand here too. Okay, I don't know what more to say about this figure. All right, Hiya Toys dropped a few things here. Yes, Terradrome in the house. Tony's the only one that answered that, huh? A Toy Kind of Mood is still my squad, bro. I'm just spat. Hey, listen, I didn't say he's not your squad. I didn't say I'm not. I said you're just a rejects because you go elsewhere too. You know, hey, it's okay. It's all right, man. It's okay. Tony has accepted that he's now a punk. You and Ryan, you guys got to accept it too, man. I have open arms. Now my arms are only so big. Remember, I'm short, so my arms are only so big, so I can only take in so many of you. Anyway, Hiya Toys always dropping something new and interesting. And let's just start off with uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Uh, and I threw this in here. I don't really follow horror. I'm not a big horror person, but I thought this looks pretty good for a 4-inch figure. I don't know anyone else is doing like realistic 4-inch horror figures. But he's got his chainsaw and he's got a big sledgehammer. Now, I don't really remember the sledgehammer. Maybe this is from the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But and again, I'm not a big horror fan, so so hey man, I'm Chad Smith. I drum for the Hot Chili Peppers and Chicken Foot. Okay. Anyway, horror. I know what a horror is. All right, and I know what a horror is. Some would say 4-inch figures. Hey, you know what? That's how it's like we summon people. Anyway, I think Hiya does a really good job of how their figures look. Now, I've never had a Hiya figure in my hands to fool around with. God damn, that came out wrong. I'm very used to having a 4-inch toy in my hand, but not a Hiya one. Anyway, this here is him running down the street. I love this scene. I believe I told the story once. A guy we used to skate with. He used to do the. His name was Curto Boy, Matthew Curtis, and he would run around like this. He called it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have no idea why, but then he got too. He didn't live around us. And they saw him at Cedar Point, which is an amusement park, years later. And he wouldn't even acknowledge my friends. So they chased him around every time they saw him. And he was embarrassed doing the Curto Boy and yelling Curto Boy at him. I don't know why I told this story because you guys have no idea what it is. But anyway, again, looks pretty good here. I don't know how many. Do they do a lot of horror, not horror stuff? But yeah. So first time I watched Little Shop of Horrors, I was expecting something else. Well, I believe if you watch Thanos Copter's Instagram long enough, you will see the Little Shop of Horrors. So just keep an eye open for it because eventually he's going to hit that. So anyway, I think this figure does look really nice. This is such a creepy movie, just the whole story in general. But hey, if this is your thing, you can pick up a 4.1 inch Leatherface. I think it's Leatherface, right? Because they're all the dead skins. Thanos capsule. A buddy of mine would do the Terminator at parties. He would strip naked and do the kneeling pose and walk out of the party. What is wrong with you, Thanos? What is wrong with you? Now I think we're figuring out your Instagram, like live time. We're figuring out what your Instagram is. Listen, if you guys have not checked out Thanos Copter's Instagram, you need to. Again, do not look at it with your kids. Don't think that it's all gonna be, oh hey, this is toys. I can look at it with my kids or your parents. or maybe a loved one, just know you're in for a treat. Tony Fig. Tony's Fig. Tony. Leatherface is filthy like Thanos. Oh man. So anyway, there is your Leatherface. This is me filling time. So he's 4.33 inches. So he's actually taller than a lot of their other figures. Most of their figures are 4.1, if I am correct. All the GI Joe figures. Now, what I do like about this, if he's actually 4.33, is they look at the scale of them. This is something that I know. This again, as I mentioned, some people are kind of upset with the scale of Roadblock for the Mezco being a little bit smaller, but he's not supposed to scale with. He's not supposed to scale with classified. You can, and again, you can get by with it. I mean, he's still actually bigger than a lot of the other figures. And there is someone who kind of pointed out that Destro and Roadblock are the same height. Well, and I even mentioned to him, like, hey, I always pictured Destro, and I believe the classified is the same way. He's a bigger guy. He wasn't small. I always pictured him to be a bigger guy. I never pictured Roadblock to be as big as he is. Again, Roadblock and Gung Ho, I'm fine with them being as big as they are, but really, they shouldn't be that big. They are way oversized. I hate to agree with Bobby Valla, but Bobby's not wrong when he says, like, they're giants. Like, they would be like 7'5". They'd be the size of like Shaq. So, but I don't have a problem with it because you once you pose the figures, you're fine. B's Battlegrounds, if you're posing him, the difference in height doesn't even matter. You're right, because you're going to bend the knees. If they're going to be kneeling down, different things like that. And again, it's like me in real life. I don't stand right next to people and talk to them like this. That's why people don't think I'm as short as I am. I learned a long time ago. You stand a little bit back, so you're not looking. You're always going to be looking up. It's impossible for me not to, unless you're a tiny person. And tiny people are nice. The friend that I stayed with in Maryland, she is shorter than me, so it's nice. You're actually talking down to someone. Brick says, yeah, I assume Destro's a bigger dude. Otherwise, the metalhead would come across like some sad. No, I'm again, like, I always hated that Destro was actually the same size as the regular O-ring figures. Now, it didn't really bother me so much, but yeah, he always, to me, was always bigger, buffer, stronger. And I always looked at Roadblock and Roadblock Gung Ho as being, the biggest and the strongest of the GI Joes. Never rock and roll, heavy duty, stupid. Sergeant Slaughter is a traitor that turned his back on Hulk Hogan in the USA, so I really didn't care. But I always looked at Destro as being one of the bigger. I always pictured him pretty much looking down at Cobra Commander and anyone else that was in that command group. So, anyway, Ray Paz says higher figures look good in hand. I have a few. They do nice sculpt. They do, and I wonder, like, again, I do my reviews the way I do it because I want people to see, like, hey, how easy is it to actually pose these figures right away? Because a lot of guys do their reviews or they show off figures and they're already posed perfectly, and it's one of those things where you're like, hey, I could spend 3 hours posing figures and doing perfect shots of them, but how difficult actually was it? So yeah, I never thought of rock and roll as big. I think they tried making him like a bigger. I thought they tried making him bigger in life as time went on. They did it with Bazooka, in Classified, and I never thought of Bazooka that big. But I will say this: so, like, He says Roadblock, Gung Ho, and Sarge are fine. So the difference is that Sarge and Bazooka both use shorter legs, so they're not as tall as Gung Ho and Roadblock. It's not they. I think they figured out that they kind of made some mistakes on what the scale actually is. But like Bobby said, Bobby B's Battleground. What he said, it really doesn't matter if you're posing your figures; they're not going to be the same, and you want to have that look that there are figures that are bigger and shorter than other ones. There's nothing wrong with that because we're not all the same height. I know because I short. All right. And they dropped another Star Trek figure from the Kelvin series. And I really do I like these. I don't know if there's anyone clamoring for Star Trek figures in general, because I gotta say this, every single one of these companies, these toy stores that had Black Friday deals and Cyber Mondays, they have all the Playmates Star Trek figures on sale. They're the ones that Target can't give away, and they're even putting them on sale. Now, this is from the Kelvin timeline. I know a lot of people don't like, but I'm not sure how many people are looking for action figures like this. The difference I would say with this is I feel like those movies are more action than any of the other Star Trek series movies, anything like that. These ones are more action movies, and I like the fact that they're taken out of the timeline, so you can actually get around that. So now the one thing that I really can't understand is his hair seems like it just seems a little too light. I don't remember him ever in any movie or anything having hair this light. Maybe it's just the lighting they're showing, or maybe it's just the pre-production model, but it just doesn't look right. The face sculpt kind of looks good. So yeah, these things are 4.1 inches. You see everything that he comes with, other than the stand that I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly why they haven't got approval for the stand. They're making the figures. Graph, that is Sulu, not Kirk. They've already shown the Kirk, and he looks. Does the Kirk look absolutely nothing like him? I think Kirk looked absolutely nothing like him. Like, we kind of looked at it. I know the Spock one looked more like the Leonard Nimoy. And then they came out with the Leonard Nimoy one with the old man Spock. No, it is Sulu. That's not Kirk. I never actually said who it was. I guess I assumed everyone knew that it was Sulu because they already showed Kirk. But I guess now I can see how everyone is seeing it. He really does have an Asian face. Holy crap! I'm just gonna say to the few guys that I sent something out to earlier. The video that I sent out to you guys earlier, you can apply it to this here. I can't say it on here. I wasn't even about to say it here. Just know that, damn it. Anyway, that's Sulu. Okay. So quickly, let's shill again really quickly here, because I know next is not this. Oh, I'm sorry. So I do have. I talked about this before. I like what Hiya is doing here. They have this rubber overlay, so the body can actually move in different ways, and you don't have an ab crunch or any type of waist movement. It's all one solid look. It'd be really cool if some of the other companies could do it. And when you see the Jada Toys rubber that they use, it's very very soft and very flexible. So, all right, so we're back here. I'm not sure how many people have rotated out here. Let's just show for a second. If you had just tuning in, you haven't been watching the whole time, Nerdzoic has done their their 2023 Nerdy Awards. I was nominated for Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to drop the link again. Again, This would probably be the only time that I lead. But hey, go vote for me. Go vote for the whole thing. I think the whole categories are really cool. Remember, vote GI Joe and vote GI Joe often. Not, I really do think GI Joe is making the best figures, but I think we know that because it's kind of all I care about. Believe it or not, I'm at the end of the news. I have GI Joe that I'm looking at down here. So, um, Ray Pass says thin and flexible. They should make capes for superheroes with that kind of plastic. You know, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Punk of the Year. Hey, I told Chartemis, there's only room for one punk in the toy world, and I got just over 3,000 subscribers. He has like 600,000, so I got a little bit to catch up to him. But hey, shoot for the sky, man. Danny says the problem with using rubber is that it will degrade over time, even within the span of childhood. Those Star Trek figures are going to fall apart relatively fast. Yes, I mean there's always that risk, depending on what they use. Now, if they're adult collectibles, you got to think you're not going to be playing around with them nearly as much. I have a lot of my GI Joe stuff that is still in good shape. There's still a lot of O-ring figures that probably still have the original O-ring on. Ripcord is not one of them. As I went downstairs and found Ripcord in half. But I gotta say, yeah, so that was a little interesting. But no, I get that, but I know. So one of the things that Lenny had talked about when they were doing the O-rings is he talked about the kitchen grade rubber that they're using for the O-ring, and then he's like, "Hey, in 30 and 40 years, these are going to be perfectly fine. Like that's how long, and they're supposed to last that long. Now, will they? I don't know. I know Jay Bartlett. He was even talking about it Saturday when him and Chad were on, where." 3D Joe's, where he was talking about, listen, those O-rings snap, and the there's becoming less and less O-ring figures on card that are still together because they're going to snap. So people are going to be paying hundreds of dollars, maybe $1,000 for specific O-rings on card, and those O-rings are eventually going to snap, and there's no fixing them. So, anyway, Sherwood Crump. I don't remember ever seeing you, so thank you. If you're just tuning in, or maybe this is the first time you decided to post, appreciate it. I like this line. I bought the Playmates Kelvin line when it was out. Hopefully, Hiya will issue a screen accurate McCoy in this blue Starfleet uniform. I thought they did McCoy. I'm almost positive they did McCoy because I've gone over all of them. I swear they did McCoy because if I remember correctly, I thought he had a really good face sculpt. Now, I could be wrong because listen, you see toys so much when you're doing this. I don't know if I told you. I probably said it on a stream a while. It was a while back. So a while back, I went nuts because I had moved my gargoyles and I was going crazy looking for Lexington. I couldn't find my Lexington. I'm just going fucking mad. And then it dawned on me that Lexington hadn't even come out yet. But I had done so many like live streams and talked about it that I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" In my head, I had him already. So yeah, I do think McCoy. I thought they showed McCoy. Now, if you're talking about from the Kelvin line, so. But yeah, go back and look. But I thought there is there. And good to know Payne is back and he's still alive. So I'm glad you're still alive, Payne. If you haven't followed Payne on Facebook, Payne just got on Facebook. If you're not following Payne's Toy Samples on YouTube. Everyone, if you're not, go over and subscribe to his channel right now. Ed, I know Ed's probably quick on the trigger there, but Matthew, you too, throw up Payne's YouTube channel. I want everyone to go over and subscribe. He'll give you some really good live content every Friday night. I really do. I think you really do enjoy it. So the Dima coin is red. Huh. How did I even miss that? Like I said, I do so much stuff, but hey, you seem to know, and I have no problem admitting I was, I'm wrong. So yeah, so Ed just put it here, boom, right near. Go give him a subscribe. I did not realize he's sitting at I believe you're under 200 subscribers. You might have gone over it. I was shocked. He does a really good job, but he also does not ask. He will not show like I will. I don't think I have no shame. All right, I have no shame. He does a wonderful job, and I really do mean that. I think again, there's a lot of YouTubers that are doing good jobs. There's a lot of YouTubers that you see they have potential. Payne is doing a good job already. And he's actually just a good guy. So go subscribe if you haven't already, which I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't subscribed to him already. All right, so it says we have 52 likes here, but 56 people watching. We were up to like 70 people. Come on. All right. So let me look at a couple things here. So I'm going to pull these things up here. Hopefully I don't freeze up. For the record, I will not freeze up because I'm a human being. So I'm going to share the screen here. I talk to myself a lot if you didn't realize that. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I do for 3 hours. And share the screen. All right. So this is what Thanos Copter had asked me about. I'm scared I'm going to. All right. And I'm sure Ed is probably all over these. So this is the FuRay Planet Panda Brothers 1/12 scale action figures. They do look really, really good. So you're looking at $85 each or $165 for the set of two. Say hi to a random diorama, another really good guy, the best toy YouTuber that doesn't collect toys. I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it. And look at this. Like Ed is here. Yes, bears. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to try and read this because you guys see how bad I read as it is. I can talk. I just can't read that well. So these do look pretty awesome. Just so you know, they should probably drop the price because all these pop-ups, they're getting money as people accidentally click them. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is actually Toy News. Don't pay for anything from Toy News. Anyway, these things do look pretty good. Look like big, beefy figures. What was the actual height on these? They got to say 8.26 inches. So there's some big, beefy figures. And we're getting more and more animal figures that we're seeing. I know that bear from Mythic Legions is absolutely awesome. I think most people can't wait for that. Even I am. I know I'm going to spend like $100 on that in 2 years when it finally comes out, but I'll worry about that in 2 years if I'm still interested in that. I'll have to figure out what I got to do with all this other shit that I got. So, this is not Kung Fu Panda. Thank God. I hated that movie. That movie was awful. Looks like he's got a nice little scar under his face here. Nice soft goods. So again, this is where you start getting into very pricey figures. I know that a lot of the people that watch this, watch my show, watch my channel, they're basically GI Joe collectors. And again, I know a lot of you guys stick around because you obviously like my characters that I throw out here. Uh, oops, Yogi. uh, oh God, they're making a fourth Kung Fu Panda. Matthew, I'm just glad that my kids are at that age that I don't need to see it. Though your daughter is probably at that age that you will be seeing it. So good luck to you. Listen, I'll make my kids I'll still make Olivia watch Disney movies that I still want to see, but it's so glad that we can skip a lot of these awful, awful movies that aren't gonna be good. Anyway, but this thing does look pretty badass. Not something I think I'd want to run into or have to fight. Although pandas always seem nice and happy. So it looks like you get two face sculpts here, lots of hands, and then a couple batons. And I'm not sure what this middle piece is here. But there you go. I mean, the soft goods look. It really does have that Mythic Legion vibe now. Is it, dude? Do you just want me to do you want a social security number too? I mean, why are you asking what her middle name is? So Danny said no, Lawrence, pandas are dangerous. Okay, I Tony, you can text me and ask me why you're asking what Olivia's middle name is. I'm a little confused. Not sure I want to throw that out there. I think I give enough about my kids out and everything about me, to be honest. So, all right, and then we have let's see here. A Hansi panda. What could go wrong? Yeah, I'll tell you a story in a minute. So here, let me remove this. I love story time with me. So years ago, when my ex and I were still together, we went up north to the UP. Now, if you know what the UP is, it's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we went to a bear farm, and they had a cub there that, and I'm sure they do this all the time. He's sitting on the chair, and you can take your picture with the cub. And it was like me on one side and Andrew on the other side. And Andrew was probably 4 or 5. And this bear is they're feeding it Fruit Loops. And the cub started kind of chomping on my arm. And my ex, Susan, was like, I could see fear in your face. I'm like, let me tell you something. He was not chomping hard, but there was no doubt in my mind that if he wanted to, he could have snapped that arm easily. But it was okay because they had Fruit Loops that distracted him. I'm just glad that it wasn't my son that he was doing it to. But I would say I had teeth marks because it was that much pressure. It wasn't enough pressure to break anything. But damn it, if that thing wanted to just snap it, no problem whatsoever. So just remember, if you go to a bear farm, make sure you have some Fruit Loops because it's obviously their that's their repellent. All right, there's that too. I'm glad I tasted bad. That is damn right. It says a bear farm. Wow, weird. Is that all? No, it's not cool. God damn it. All right, anyway, back to toys. So this guy here, you can't really see his eyes. Eyes like a sheepdog, but like a sheep bear. I don't know what the hell. What the hell is this thing? He realized he was not the tribal chief at that point. Yeah. Punk tastes bad. You're damn right. I'm glad too. Dude, it was like Susan was like, she's like, yeah, you look kind of scared. I'm like, man, look at my, like, you could see the marks on my arm. I'm like, there is no doubt that thing, even a cub could have just snapped my arm without even trying. But again, they had Fruit Loops, so it was all good. Again, this thing looks really good. Now, Thanos, you asked about it. Is this something you'll be picking up? I'm already positive Ed will. Ed is a degenerate for toys and buys stuff like this, and then it takes it out in the mud with its soft goods and everything, and just. I kind of like this one better. He just has more character to him. Not just like some generic looking angry guy with some generic looking weapons and everything. So I kind of like the way this one looks a little bit better. Faction says, pro tip, don't pet bears or any other non-domesticated animal, especially ones in the wild. Okay, it wasn't in the wild. It was fenced in. Which still kind of scares me because, well, they climb trees. Which kind of, I'm like, I don't understand. It was kind of like Tiger King, but for bears. So I like this one better than the other one. He just has more character to him. You know, there's just something I think looks pretty sweet. I won't be picking up these because $85 for a line that I'm not interested in. Now, throw like an Arashikage symbol on him, and you probably get me to be like, oh, okay, I got to get that. So, there you guys go. If you're interested, $85 each, or $165 for the both of them. But I think this one actually looks pretty cool. And there's everything that he just come with. And again, he's not like a fighter, which is good. All right. Yeah, I know it's not. Yeah, I know, but he's not wild. See, I didn't say he was domesticated. I said he just wasn't in the wild. All right. Snow Wolf, where do you find Fruit Loops in the wild? Listen, I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Danny says, "Do not sit next open bar enclosures with your back to animals, especially." Oh, no, yeah, no. Like, you know what? When you see these people get mauled and stuff by animals or sharks, and you see what they're doing, yeah. Anyway, and then these popped up, and it's on Toy Habits. Now, this I may freeze up because, as we all know, Toy Habits, they got to pay their bills. Yeah, lots of ads. I love you guys, but all right. So, except for I can't move it. Why can I not? All right, so hold on. There we go. All right, so these popped up, and I gotta say, for what is going to be a $20 figure or $18 figure at Walmart, these look really good for the fact that they're actually based off real characters. Now, this Hulk Hogan really gets me because before Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan, he had a mushroom cloud shaved into his chest hair. And he was led by classy Freddie Blassie. And it was before he was the immortal Hulk Hogan. It was before, Vince brought him in to become, what he essentially became. But then you also look at Andre the Giant here and explain to me how they could do a better head sculpt than for Andre the Giant for like $18 than that awful Super 7 one that was like $65. And Brian Flynn pretty much told everyone to fuck off and just deal with it. I mean, this thing looks better. Like, buy this and then put it on that figure, and maybe you have a decent looking figure. But all in all, just looking at these, they get the head sculpts really good. And I just kind of came across it, and I just think they're pretty cool. So I kind of want to show them off. I'm not a. Oh, see, now I'm freezing. Again. So I know I'm frozen. Or am I? Yeah, I'm frozen. Anyway. These are just really good. And then you got Doink the Clown with his soft goods on Andre the Giant. So I just think they do a really good job with these. And they just came across, and I just thought really great head sculpts for what is a very low price figure. Way better than what these other places give us. And Hulk Hogan, those glasses look better than what Classified is giving, which doesn't make any sense. It looks like they actually fit and maybe don't bend. Yes, and Doink looks like Doink because he kind of had this this round body. At least the original Doink, he kind of had like this round body that fits the Motu. And it looks like did they actually make Andre bigger? I mean, now he was never the WWF champion. He falsely won it when the $1 Million Man paid someone to get reconstructive surgery to look like Earl Hebner, who just happened to be Earl Hebner's twin brother in real life. Yes, I remember the storylines. I know we got some old wrestling fans here. We have to. Look, boots change, different hair. They look really good. All right. I don't remember Bald Andre, but hey. And then where is Doink at? So here they are. Even look at Hulk Hogan. He looks awesome. Like, he's got more hair. They did a really good job. And what are these like? Getting like $20, man. Yes, the collector. Yeah, Andre needs cases of beer. You are absolutely right. If you don't know all the stories about Andre, the guy could drink anyone under the table. A lot of it due to his size. That I don't know. I don't remember if they made a 1-2-3 kid. Not in, again. I don't really pay attention to these. I see them every now and then, and I've always thought some of them looked pretty good. It was just this Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and then Doink just happened to be there. They do have some good ones. Like, I mean, if you get this one, you kind of have to get the $1 Million Man, the $1 Million Man one. I guess, in my opinion. I mean, and not to mention if you ever play the video game. But the Hulk Hogan has these soft goods here. So it's amazing that they can make soft goods, but other companies just can't figure out a way. And look how good that, I mean, that actually looks proper for the most part. I mean, yeah, the pant legs are kind of funky, but you're putting it on a guy that I mean, these guys squat like crazy. So then he's got these blue trunks. Again, I think he just looks really good. And it does look like a young Hulk Hogan before he was the immortal one. So, but it looks like they must have two different versions because here's red trunks. Here's got these, they're not trunks, actually, leggings. So, all right. That was it. Oh, and don't forget the 2023 Nerdy Awards. Vote for me. Vote often, except the only thing you vote once. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this no more. All right. So, yes, Thunder Lips in the flesh, baby. Absolutely awesome. Hulk Hogan, listen, the guy's a piece of shit. Like, from everything, but he's still in the 80s and in the 90s. He made wrestling, man. He did so much. I think it's even more funny now to hear people call out his lies. Uh, and he does it so much that so many people have done it. And a lot of big guys that know him uh, call him out for it. And Jim Cornette, they've done, the many Hulk Hogan lies, just going through stuff. And some of the stuff doesn't even match up. Like where he talks about Elvis Presley being a huge Hulk Hogan fan and a huge wrestling fan. He's like, he died before he even started wrestling. So once again, he's just lying. Between him and oh god, what the hell's the the actor, the fat actor that's claims to be a martial artist, Steven Seagal. Like, you just catch these guys in so many lies. Yes, this one here. He was almost Metallica's drummer. No, guitarist. He's a guitarist. He was almost Metallica's guitarist. And that was asked, I want to say, to the drummer. And he was like, well, that's new to me. Yeah, bass. I'm sorry, yeah, bass. Okay, you're right, bass. Not guitarist, but the bass guitar. He can play, but yeah, there's so many lies that he tells. And now his son just got busted for DUI again, which is like, you got to be kidding me. Like, after all the things he said about the other guy that he became, made a vegetable, that his son made a vegetable. Sorry, that's kind of graphic, but true. Then his son does the same shit again, and like in the same area too. Like, fucking dumbass fucking people. They say he didn't audition. He said Lars personally wanted him in the band. Okay, that shit's funny. You know what is funny? Okay, but you know what is funny is Lars, Kirk. Wait, which one's? I can't think of who the singer is. The singer used to always want Danzig to sing for Metallica, which is kind of crazy. And Danzig is always like, it's not the same sound. James Hatfield, sorry. Thank you very much, random. Yeah, James had always wanted Danzig to sing, and they're like, he's like, it's not really the same sound. He sounds way different. So, but hey, I guess that's what happens. Yeah, well, you know what? Listen, when I have to listen to Brett tell his sides of stories, I also wonder, like, and that was actually HBK said he wouldn't put Brett over. Brett says that Hulk Hogan just kind of shunned him. Now, I'm not going to say he didn't, but Bret Hart also has a different opinion of himself than a lot of other people do. At least Shawn Michaels can kind of look back and be like, I was an asshole. Pretty much everything that is said about me was absolutely true. Bret Hart still acts like he's never done anything wrong. Hulk Hogan just thinks like no one hates him. Hulk Hogan is essentially the James Kirk of wrestling. What the hell? Why can't I think of his name? What is Kirk's name in real life? See, I know people are gonna, how do you not know that? But again, come on, TJ Hooker. The fuck's the guy's name? Like, he didn't realize everyone hated him because he was such an asshole. Yeah, William Shatner. Thank you, Viper Scout. Like he didn't realize everyone hated him because he was such an asshole. Well, that's kind of how Hogan was. He had his little group of friends, and you kind of see like how many people are like, you're a piece of shit. Oh yes. He claimed to have wrestled 368 days a year. Says flying back and forth to Japan added an extra day. So I know someone that listens to Jim Cornette. And that is you, Will. You listen to Jim Cornette because Jim Cornette, when he tells that story, and he's like, yeah, he tries to say because of the time difference, but he doesn't take into account that, well, then when he goes there, then he's losing a date. He was also on some Boston show too, right? Boston Legal, right? See, well, yep. Listen, I think Jim Cornette is absolutely fucking hilarious because that guy does not give a shit. And I also didn't realize that he hated something to wrestle with. Brother Love. I can't think of his name. I can think of everything else, right? Brother Love. I didn't realize he disliked him. Although as much as he makes fun of him, I can kind of understand why. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, Bruce Pritchard, yes. Who is, again, if you haven't listened to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, especially his earlier stuff before he was back in the WWF, wow. Awesome. Absolutely awesome stuff. Because he just didn't give a shit. Like, he told the stories. And if you liked old wrestling, like to hear him talk about the wrestlers, who they were, and everything, yeah, watch that. So anyway, I am going to do what I need to do, which is run to the restroom, and I am going to play, I guess, my sponsor's commercial if I can find it. So I will be right back. No one go anywhere. There's 57 of you, so there better be 57 of you back. I'm going to be talking G.I. Joe. Look at this. G.I. Joe's coming up in 1 second. So I'm going to stop the cam and play commercial from our sponsors.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Mwahahahaha.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor.
Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice.
Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Bad.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HelloDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HelloDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HelloDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right, look at that. I'm already back. And we are going to get into G.I. Joe. Now, not everyone was able to see Friday's show or was paying attention to Friday's show. So we're going to go over a few things, but then a few other things came on. Before we get into the topic, which will be early on in the 11 o'clock hour, at least as of right now. Okay. Yeah, Faction, I think this is I think that every time I hear that, I laugh. Because honest to God, when we all start off, we are doing stuff for 5 fucking subscribers to our channels grow. But it's just so funny how he says it. So I did tell him that hopefully I can get a longer one. I know he said he had to cut that down where it was going to be like 3 minutes. But unfortunately, StreamYard will only take so much, so you kind of gotta bring down the compression rate and everything. I need a 3-minute one because give me some more time to do some things. I always can't be back that fast, so. Oh, this is actually kind of funny because this guy here, Ed209, is actually one of the guys up for Rookie of the Year. That's actually what I thought you were talking about. I believe I've seen him in here before, dude. There's a couple of guys that were on there, other than Chad, that have also been in here. So if they are watching, I'm not trying to step on their toes at all. Do the same thing that I'm doing and try and stuff that ballot box. So, all right, let's get to G.I. Joe. Now, we discussed some of this. So if you were here Friday, this might be a rehash. Ed, this will not be a rehash for you because you weren't here Friday or Thursday because you were on other streams. It's like I almost have to pay these fucking moderators to be here. Well, other than you, Matthew, you show up. Actually, I think it's funny. Like I jump on so quickly. So Ed here. Oh no, is one of the two moderators, and so I jump on Oz's stream where he just has a whole bunch of people, and Ed's on. I'm like, I gotta fucking come on the show just so I can talk to my fucking moderator, and Ed's like, oh, I completely forgot that you guys were on. Which definitely made me laugh because he's like, oh, again, understand this is all in good jest, or I wouldn't be doing shit like this. Lawrence, what if you win in the trip to Ohio? I've been to Ohio way too many times this year. Not to mention how many times I've actually gone into Ohio to go to Temperance, a client of mine. Not to mention go to Ohio for another client that has product in the Jeep plant. God, I hate that fucking state. Anyway, I've gone to Ohio way too many fucking times. We'll just say that. All right. Hey, you know what? Listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. They got some pretty good stores out there. And yes, Ryan says it right here. Go Blue. Saturday was so nice. You need to come to Georgia for Dragon Con. I will fly you down. Listen, that car is sitting there probably on a hoist right now. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm just throwing that out there. All right? So I know the damage on that car. I'm not going anywhere. So, yeah, I sacrificed his car to Ohio. Oh man. Okay. So G.I. Joe, a real American hero. So this just popped up. I saw the Full Force had posted this. Again, this is reaction, which is not my favorite stuff, but it is G.I. Joe. 5 points of articulation. You know my thoughts on it. Yeah. But this is from, I believe they said the Sunbow commercial. I'm sorry, the Deke cartoon. Now, this is the type of stuff that pisses me off about this company. You're just reusing like pictures and stuff. She's not even holding the gun you give her. You just change the color paint of it a little bit. And when you're charging $20 for this, put some pride into it and make it at least look the way that it's supposed to. I don't think the figure colors look bad, but again, it's not representing anything that she is carrying on her person. And it's just, again, another repaint. She does have a file card in one language, which I know makes people happy, including myself. I believe they should all be like that. But this is a Target exclusive. The colors look really nice. I'm not going to lie. If you did a version I don't want another Baroness because we've had enough Baronesses recently. I'm Baroness out. I know a lot of people want another Baroness with a black outfit with the new arms. Yeah, it would be nice, but I got enough Baronesses that I don't need one. At least not right now. But yeah. Now, yeah, you said having the wrong gun is rough. I actually like the gun that she has. Believe it or not, I forget what figure that it came with, but it's actually sitting in my room on my Spawn figure, the first Spawn figure, because I thought it looked like something Spawn would have had in the movie. So, but she has like it's a holster with a little pistol, and then she has this submachine gun with a scope on it. And again, I really do like the gun, but you can't really use it in any of your O-ring figures because you will snap their thumb. But there she is. That is a new one that's coming out. And then next we have, this is from the Full Force. It's from Jedi Jaybird. He posted it. I also know Bees Battleground had also posted this. But it looks like these 60th anniversary figures are arriving soon. So they're not, it doesn't look like there's going to be any shortage of figures coming out. It's very difficult right now. There doesn't seem to be much classified this month from what we know of, where everything's come out other than what the 7888 team will be getting the HasLab and people that didn't order from overseas or from Canada Nunchuck, which I don't even have yet. I'm still on the fence about spending a little bit extra to get it early because I feel like Amazon doesn't know when the hell it's going to ship out. I'm really interested in this. Does anyone have any idea of what these are going to run? Do we have an idea of what the price range is? Because I still haven't seen anyone. Ryan, if you're still in the Hasbro offices, could you sneak in and find out? It's probably on Emily's desk what the price is going to be for these. You always seem to have all the inside knowledge. I really can't wait for these, and I have to say this. Viper Scout says pretty sure 35. Okay, see, I don't want if not more. Okay, so Ray Pass says rumor is deluxe figure cost, which kind of makes sense. It has a lot of different stuff on here. They're an army builder, but again, they are giving you everything. They're giving you everything. Where let's say someone like Valiverse, they do these army builders. They're only giving you a gun. Thank you, Articulated Ninja. No one else complained about that at all. Wait, someone said they were showing up on the bases at the exchange. Maybe it's Chad. Huh. Well, that's interesting because I haven't heard anything like that. But I don't hear everything either. Believe me, I'm not hooked. I'm not connected with anyone. I am really interested in these. I just think they're such nice looking army builders with so much stuff. You're going to have a nice team for Torpedo. I know people keep saying, they keep whining that Wetsuit hasn't come out yet. And it's like, come on, give it a sec. You're going to get Wetsuit. All right. They're going to give us Wetsuit. And then people are going to complain that Wetsuit doesn't fit the color scheme. But this is going to be perfect for Torpedo. And the faces, the Caucasian one, the white face is a different head sculpt. The black face is just Torpedo's face painted. The 60th anniversary, we did see it in the production shot or the promo shots of the Vamp. That's the one that really interests me, just because I don't have water for them. So they have to be less than a Valiverse figure. Do they have to be? Yes, we discussed this on the member stream. Yes, I'm actually surprised that it took this long. And then someone told me that it actually the name translates to grunt in Japanese. So very 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 funny there. um, yes, I need to have a crick you can take them to. I have lots of cricks around here. I have no problem. Actually, I have one right behind me. I mean, shit, dude. Well, you got a lot of stuff, but if you saw everything that's actually by me, you'd be like, "Wow, why are you not doing, you know, more stuff in the mud?" And I'd be because then they'd be muddy. But I am interested in both of these, obviously, and we'll see. As of right now, I'm going with one figure each until I either get a bigger house or make more money, or both. I think I need to make more money to get a bigger house to begin with, but I'm not even looking to move. I don't know what I'm talking. Anyway, all right. So on to the next thing. So why aren't you doing more stuff in the mud? Because every time I take my figure somewhere, I lose something like rock and roll. Remember his little walkie-talkie. All right. Okay, so face sculpts. And so this was something that got discussed on Friday before we did the giveaway. And so this is Torch. Now, I believe that this is Falcon from, Captain America next to him. And then you have a clone trooper that's right next to it. Now, these were 3D, or these are molds of a lot of the new heads from Hasbro. They're not all G.I. Joe. So you'll see a lot of mix and match in these things here. We'll see. I mean, the prices are always fluctuating, like everything. And the only thing about this hearing prices fluctuating is that there are people throwing that out, that there is rumors that Hasbro is raising prices. I haven't read anything that is concrete. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but that is what people try and do to stir the pot. And I think that it's great that Valiverse is lowering his price. You know what? That's great that he's going down to $30. But, we'll see. Him going into Walmart now, or Walmart.com at least. We'll see if things stay the same. He has backed off on how he tends to talk about people, but, we all know it's going to come back eventually. Anyway, so here is Torch. And one thing that Chris McLeod, I know, had kind of pointed out that at least on this mold, his glasses are actually molded on, which would be different considering Ripper and Buzzer both have glasses. Buzzer has really bad glasses. Ripper's glasses actually aren't that bad. They actually fit pretty well. So this will be interesting to see if this is just how the mold is done right now. And then later on when it comes out, it'll be done. But you would assume Ripper should be coming out pretty soon. Just the fact that they've already announced them. They haven't shown any digital renders of them, but you would assume that they're coming on pretty quickly. Sean, I'm with you. Like, I prefer molded glasses because I'm not really taking them off. Now, again, when it comes to photography, yeah, I could see why someone would want that. But if it comes to glasses are going to be like buzzers, then yeah, I'd rather you just have them molded on. Rippers are decent because, yeah, just go to Target and ask for it. They'll bring it out for you if they haven't already. Target has all of them sitting in the back. They don't have spots for them. Like their planogram does not have it on there. So that's the reason why we haven't seen that. But yeah, I would rather just have these glasses molded on because they have not done a stellar job with what they did. I thought the Roadblock, they did a good job how they fit in there, but they're always on. I'm fine with the Baroness having them just stick on, better than having the little slots on the side. So anyway. So I also buy ZD Toys, Iron Man. So I'm not just a million. Hey, I didn't say you were. Did someone else say you were? Hey, listen. I am all for. Listen, I made a decision to not discuss and cover Valaverse anymore. That was a decision I made of a personal nature. I'm not saying I'll never purchase their product again, and I'm not going to tell people not to. Because I'm sure I will probably purchase it, but it's just something that I made a decision. You know, I'm not going to sit here and come up here and badmouth it and different things like that. Although you really don't want me to talk about the Legend of the White Dragon because, God, that looks awful. Anyway, they should have just gave the alternate heads with Dreadnought with the Dreadnoughts, one with glasses, one without. I would have just preferred. Oh, so here's the issue with that, Aaron. Even though people don't like to hear this, and I'll be called a shill, that is going to up your that's gonna eat into your budget, and it's gonna take away from accessories. And it sounds all good and dandy and everything, but yes, that becomes a problem, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. Their budget has obviously increased. That's why we're seeing so many more figures and new characters. But again, I will repeat this over and over and over. Hasbro is a $1 billion company. G.I. Joe is not a $1 billion brand. Now, Buzzer's glasses fit great with a little hot glue. Hot glue doesn't hurt the fig. You can easily take it off. Yeah, but the problem with Buzzer's glasses is no matter what you do, when you push them on, they push out. Like, glasses here are supposed to go in. Right? When you wear glasses, I don't know if you do or not. But no, his push out like they're too short, like they're too small. But they're also just super, they're just super. They're super soft and chintzy, and that's just it's just a fact. I mean, you can get him to look decent, but at certain angles, he doesn't look right. Where Rippers actually look really good. So. Yes, action. I am a shill. Super shill. Sunshine means soldier or warrior. Okay. I'm trying to think if slaughters were good. I was actually just looking at them because I actually just recently opened them. It's just odd because, like, the elf glasses are absolutely awesome. The NECA elf ones, they're absolutely awesome. Like, why can't you just do that? I mean, I guess I understand why they can't, but some of them just look really bad. Anyway, but I wouldn't mind. If this is just molded in, I don't really care. I don't need to see Torch without his, with different eyes. And they can also do it where it's molded in, but it's still two different pieces. Oh, Senshi means soldier or warrior. Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying. Somebody said that it. I don't know. I just laughed about it because don't get me started. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna do it. No. Anyway, and then we come to this, and this is where the fun begins. So we have Night Creepers, two different Night Creeper heads, version 1 and version 2. And I don't, those Night Creepers look completely different. So I don't know if they're going to have two different versions or if they're going to have alternate heads. It would seem odd to have alternate heads for figures that are just completely different. Now, if your army building and they know they're just going to sell tons of them and maybe they have a couple overlays and they're going to do something like they're doing with the 60th anniversary and they're going to be deluxe, then great. I'd rather not do that. So, but that one was kind of snuck in there. We have the helmet for the ferret driver, who we're all pretty sure is just a repaint of the Valkyrie with obviously a different head. I'm just gonna just kind of slide down there. I know some people thought like, "Hey, we told you." I'm like, oh, God, you know what? Stop it, dude. You didn't tell me anything. You watched the fucking full force. They told you, and then you jumped on your fucking little stream and you fucking stream. Then you made a video about it. And then we get to Nagahide and Doc. And also, as you can tell, C-3PO will also be joining the classified line, according to Viper Island. So there's the Nagahide sculpt. Looks pretty good. He's got big chops on him. Looks pretty good. Next to him is not Doc. It's fucking Mace Windu. Matthew Matson may say, hey, it could also be Nick Fury. Again, same person, so it could be either or. But what it's not is not Doc. And again, you can see the meme that I put up there on my Instagram because some people just need to be called out because they constantly give false information because they're absolute fucking morons. And no one should listen to them. But hey, keep buying subscribers. I'm going to assume they'll probably even leave you. All right. It's Arnold Palmer, guys. I need something a little bit different. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson joining the Joe team. Hey, I wouldn't mind, to be honest. Can you grow your chops like that, Ed? See, I can barely grow anything. I get like staggered, like fucking. I can't grow a beard. Yeah, I like the Ferret Driver helmet too. It'll be very unique when we see it up. When we see it all painted and in person, and see exactly how it is. Maybe the R2D2 will be. Maybe they'll make it like fit in the back of the vamp. That would be pretty cool, right? You take the guns off and you fit R2 in the back, and then C-3PO hangs out. Yes, I'm glad Samuel L. is getting work. He needs it. Yeah, Samuel Jackson. I've said well before I ever started the stream. I'm like, I could like call up his agent and be like, hey, I'm filming a movie here, and they'd be like, yep, he'll be there. Like, that guy does not turn down roles. He's in a lot of movies. There's no doubt about that. Fatrid says, hi, I'm Lawrence. You know what really grinds my gears? Hey, become a member, and you'll probably hear more about it when I'm on the member stream, because I think I've started to let loose a little bit more when we do those. I definitely don't. Yeah, I just have a tendency to. There's only so many people that watch it, that have the ability to watch it. Again, I speak my mind, but I know what I'm doing. You just kind of got to watch it, in all honesty. There's so much shit that I would love to say just because there's things that bug the shit out of me. But I know what I need to do. I need to just keep my mouth shut at times. Anyway, so here are some of the sculpts that we're going to be getting, and I think everyone's pretty much happy about it. Ed says Roadblock should have come with the chef hat. He did. We just didn't know it. Oh boy, here comes Chaz the Guru. He's like a fat chick at Thanksgiving dinner. He doesn't turn down any roles. Oh man. Oh my gosh. That's actually pretty funny. Okay. So that's about it. I don't know, was there any other Joe news? I haven't seen anything right now. It's pretty they have really calmed down on everything, so but who knows what else we're gonna get. Listen, I think again, being that I'm just done this over a year now, live streaming, and I did not start off doing 3-hour live streams. During certain parts of the year, it's really easy. There's lots of stuff going on. Doing topics can be pretty easy. When you get deeper in, you start realizing, I did that topic. Oh, ain't no fucking news. And I think around Christmas, we're not going to have all too much, not too much news. And topics might start to dry up. Good news is Christmas falls on a Monday, so I will be taking Christmas off. Yes, I'm slacking. That would be 2 Mondays that I've missed this year. And who knows, if I'm sitting at home and don't have anything, maybe I'll just go live. I don't plan on it. So anyway, this topic that I came up with, or that I thought about, I can't really say I came up with it, but actually I did. Actually, that's a lie. I fucking totally came up with it. So, I know there's a lot of infighting, and people in the G.I. Joe community, they really have an issue with this fighting between the 112 scale and the 116 or the 118 scale. And I don't really understand it. It's kind of like if pickup truck people fought with car people. Like, there can be both. You don't have to be either or. But we have this. Like, this is totally true. And because I'm in more Joe forums than anything, I don't understand it. Hold on really quick. What's that city in the back? So this is the NECA street scene. It is absolutely awesome. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I knew it was pretty large. I am going to do a review on it probably this week. I want to get some lights so I can add lights and not just do a review on it, but show also how to add lights onto it like that. So, this is 112 scale. So you can see like Mezco Roadblock right there. Got Chun-Li and Ryu there. We got my Ghost. So, yep. It is it's awesome. And I think they run like I think it's 115 on BBTS right now. Now they haven't gotten it yet, but yeah. And it's worth it. It's so big. I mean, it's 3 levels, and you can put figures inside. You can pop out the windows. That's why I said I wanted to do a review on it. It's really good. I mean, it's worth it. That's for sure. Especially if you're going to display things or do pictures. So, I did mix the action with the new and old Cobra officers. I can only do so much. I don't like popping my figures apart. All right, so Odin, no, I don't plan on getting the Musk. I have to cut back on so much stuff because G.I. Joe is what I collect. Gargoyles, and then with Monster Force. And again, if I haven't mentioned, my car may cost me a couple grand or more to get fixed. I have no idea yet, so I got to look at everything that I'm spending money on. Oh, and it's Christmas time, and I have fucking kids. So anyway, so quickly, Cobra Commander says there's infighting in every community I follow on YouTube, even the motivational community. All right, so I want to get to it. So there's constantly this bickering and fighting. And I don't know why. Again, it's this 1/6, the 112 scale versus the 118 scale. Now, it's funny because they all kind of ignore the 1/6 scale, which is what G.I. Joe started out as, you know. And maybe those people have all died off, and that's why we don't see it all that much. But I don't understand why it is. And again, with one of the problems is half the people that are fighting about it and bashing on the other people is they're saying, I'm not telling you not to do it, but at the same time they turn around and you bash them. But then they get mad when people bash them about it. And it's going back and forth. It reminds me of growing up. I had, like the alternative girls that I was friends with, and I was friends with the jocks and different things like that. And they would always say, "Oh, they make fun of me, and they make fun of me." I'm like, "Listen, it's this endless fucking circle. I don't know who the fuck started, but I don't really give a shit, you know." But it's this whole scale war. That's how I should. Damn, should have used scale wars. Like that's what I should have. But the people wouldn't know what I was talking about. People think it's like about fucking like lizards and shit. So we know G.I. Joe, for the most part right now, is two main scales. The 118 scale, which is what we grew up on. And I am ignoring the 1/6 scale just because we're going back to the 80s. And now the 112 scale. I collect both. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that I much rather enjoy the 112 scales right now. And that's because I've collected so many of the O-rings and the modern 4-inch figures. I don't have a problem mixing and matching them. So we're going to start with it. And so G.I. Joe is the big one right now. And again, I am in a lot of these communities and I hear them go back and forth. So we have the 3.75 O-rings and there's also the 4-inch. And this has become a huge problem. And again, I don't understand it. My question is, do we get the same issue with the other brands, other toy lines? Do they do the same thing? So I want to get into something. Wasted time even talking about they have to be able. Okay. I stopped collecting 1/6 for space saving reasons. Hey, listen, I fully understand that. Because it does take up space. I'll tell you what, like as packed as my G.I. Joe room is, and it's only 1/18 scale, it is absolutely full. If I went down and took all my classified stuff down there, I'd start filling that up, and I have maybe a fifth the amount of I don't even. I got a lot of fucking classified figures. I may have a fifth of the amount of 4-inch O-ring figures that are in that room. So here's the G.I. Joe. Again, it's the big one. So we get Star Wars. Now I know there's a lot of issues with Star Wars and people hating the Black Series. Now I never hear anything about the Black Series fans really hating the vintage line or the retro line. I think it would be really hard to hate on the retro line, as really that's what started us in toys as kids. I mean, if you didn't play with if you didn't play with Star Wars as a kid, you probably, you either were a teenager when the 80s started, or you were born in the mid 80s and you didn't get a chance to really play with Star Wars. Now, I have heard guys like Ryan Dole basically say, get rid of the Black Series. And I know we all make jokes about who's actually buying the Black Series, but there are a lot of people that are buying it. They just don't buy Lando and Grief Cargo and carbonized figures. So you have this size, along with, again, the vintage collection. And then you have the Black Series. Hey, look, Boba Fett. And the Boba Fett tax. But this is the other line that I do hear a lot of in fighting. And again, I don't fully understand it. I feel like, hey, you know what, you can collect this. But, you know, Star Wars was also built on vehicles. And I don't hear as many people complaining about it. Where, again, I saw that TIE fighter. It is huge. I've seen the snow speeder. It's huge. And they didn't sell. So this is the other line that I do know for a fact that there are some squabbles, that they complain. I'm not sure how much. You got someone like Chaz the Guru who collects all of it. Again, I don't know how big his mansion is, but he obviously has one because that dude buys a lot of shit, right, Chaz? Eric says, classified are the only 6 figures I have. I initially thought they were too big, and now they take up the whole room. Where's the dragonfly going to go? Hey, dude, I'm with you, man. I'm absolutely with you. You know, someone had mentioned, you know, why don't you put your classified figures in your Joe room too? It's all G.I. Joe, but the reason why I don't is I just don't have the room in that room. I don't have a very large place, and that room down there, again, you put a 7.5-foot aircraft carrier with 5 Sky Strikers, you don't have a lot of places to put stuff. So yeah, it definitely takes up a lot of space there. So this is the other line that I know that's the problem. But again, this is, as much as I didn't want this to be a G.I. Joe channel, I know it has become very G.I. Joe heavy. Actually, I'm gonna mention something later. Remind me in case I forget. So let's just ask, what about these ones? Are there superpower people out there that are like, fuck that McFarlane shit? That 7-inch scale? That's bullshit. I don't want that. Are there people shaming other people for picking up McFarlane because of the size? Not because of the sculpt. I know there's people that have bitched that this is too tall for superpowers. But are there DC Multiverse people that tell these collectors, hey, you know what? Just get over it. That's old. You don't need that anymore. You know, I don't understand completely, but when I look at it, a completely different scale. And yes, I made sure I had a Batman in there because it only made sense. But these things are 2 different scales. And I think it's safe to say that superpowers were pretty damn fucking popular when we were kids. Hell, they are still popular. And they are still very expensive. And they're so popular that McFarlane actually brought them back slightly bigger, which drives people nuts, Matthew. So yeah. Allison says, these are Star Wars people who moan that the 3 3/4 is dead and needs to go away, and toys are all 6-inch now. And okay, so that's what I'm trying to get at here. Like, but I know the Star Wars and the G.I. Joe people are there. But again, when it comes to DC, are these people complaining about this? And again, Ray Pass. Okay, so here, he loves superpowers. Do you have a huge issue with people that collect the DC Multiverse? I mean, they're 7-inch figures. Does that bother you? Do you say these are supposed to be this size? Where again, I can't see someone post a fucking O-ring on one of the G.I. Joe forums. I understand if you're posting O-ring stuff or 4-inch figure stuff in the G.I. Joe classified Facebook group because it is classified. But again, I don't understand why people get mad. I kind of look at it as all G.I. Joe. We need more Batman. They do not make enough of them. Danny, you and Allison should get together and do a We Need More Batman channel. So like Ed here, I collect every scale, so it doesn't matter to me. And again, that's where I'm kind of getting at. Now I know you're not one that has this has feuds. And again, there are so again, I can't go on a Facebook page and not see this happen. Aaron. So Aaron here was on the first member stream, and I could see his room, and he has the Terradrome, and he's pulling out the bridge layer. I mean, it was like he was sitting like me sitting in my G.I. Joe room. But I also know he is a huge collector of the classified line. Now, but here's my question: is it classified? I mean, is that such a problem? Do people have an issue that it's Mezco doing 6-inch, or is it just that Hasbro is doing it? That's So here's Sherwood Camp, Sherwood Crump. I don't want to say camp. I started out collecting 1/6 scale, the original G.I. Joe and Captain Action. I collect some 1/18 Joes, but they weren't what I grew up on. I classified because they remind me of the 1/6 Joes. See? And that's kind of what I go back to, that, hey, G.I. Joe started off as 1/6 scale. Now, that is well before my time. So, He-Man. He-Man's pretty big, right? This origin line, it fits in perfect with your vintage Motu stuff. I know, like Geek Dad Life, he had said, hey, you know what? As the new, as the origin figures come out, I replace my vintage figures and box them up and use them. But the whole origin line is meant to work with it. So and again, the aesthetic, they work perfect. Now, these people that got this, when the Masterverse size came out, did they whine and cry? I'm not in many Motu groups, so you guys can tell me. Do they whine and cry that this is a 7-inch scale? This is not the scale that He-Man is supposed to be in. He-Man is supposed to be 5-inch figures, 5.5-inch figures. That's it. No more. Don't do this. It's just something that I do wonder. And again, it's because I'm not in other ones. I wonder if everyone else is having this infighting, because it's all over. And I'm asking you guys. It's cheaper. It's cheaper Motu Classics. Yeah, well, and Motu Classics was around. So when Motu Classics was around, were the people that complained and said, "Hey, you know what? This is not the right scale. Motu should only be 5.5." Mr. Mad Gus, I was there for all stages of G.I. Joe, and I have been going with the flow again. And I'm just trying to get a grasp. I'm just trying to get a grasp of what people are saying here, and I want you guys to fill me in, because I'm just looking at this and just wondering. And so I went through a bunch of different scales of figures. This is a good one here. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about turtles. What I do know is that turtle collectors bitch about a lot. All right. Going back to that movie that just came out. I don't know. I'm not going to criticize the movie because I know nothing about it. But there are some people that loved it and other people that just absolutely fucking hate it. But do turtle collectors. I mean, this was the Playmates. This is what they look like. Do they complain that NECA, how dare you make a 7-inch scale turtle? None of these figures aren't 7 inches, but they're 7-inch scale. Do they complain about it? Okay, so Thanos here says, I prefer the 5.5, but also grab some Masterverse. Okay, so you don't have a problem with it. Like, you're not fighting with people. You're not telling people that it's the wrong scale, right? Our Masterverse people telling the Origin people, you know what, get over it. I hear that from classified people. Get over the fucking O-ring. It's done. It's over. You don't need it anymore. Like, well, I can collect whatever the fuck I want, right? I wish they were still making O-ring. I don't want it as much because, limited funds, but I would love them to take some of these classified designs and make them into O-rings. I like kind of what Hiya is doing. But again, I also don't want to pay that much for a 4.1 figure. If money was an option, you better believe I'd be buying them all. So, the Super 7 line is fire on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why? Because you don't like articulation. Yeah. So again, dude, turtle. So is there infighting with turtles with different scales, like newer guys sitting there that collect NECA and Super 7? Are they telling the guys that want the Playmates size? God, that sounds so wrong. Stop it. No one needs that shit anymore. Get over it. Hey, 62 people watching, 62 likes. I just happened to look over. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button and then subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. I assume most of you are subscribed. So anyway, again, asking a question. Nolan says, find most, collect both Origins and Masterverse. And that's what I've noticed. I have not heard I've never heard an Origins guy. And again, admittedly, I do not spend as much time. Matter of fact, I think I'm in one Motu Facebook group. I'm not in that many G.I. Joe ones, but I've never heard a Motu person pissed off that how dare they give us 7-inch figures when they haven't even completed the Origin. I've heard people complain that they need to complete the Origin set, which I think they've done a really good job. If you want to know why you don't dump every single fucking figure out, G.I. Joe collectors, why Hasbro hasn't dumped every single every single O-ring is classified yet, it's because then your line's going to die. Because guess what? Origins is pretty much done because they've run out of figures. So Mr. Mad says, me personally, I couldn't do Turtles. Then things is all over the place. Yeah, but I'm just wondering, like, if someone is a Turtle fan, if they complain and get mad that there's different scales, like, again, it's just been a huge issue. G.I. Joe's been the worst. So here's some 4-inch X-Men. Now, as we know, the Toy Biz X-Men were a little bit different. I probably should pick it up. Toy Biz, they were very popular. So do those Toy Biz people have a huge issue with, let's say, the Marvel Legends? And again, a lot of you guys are in these forums. You guys would know. It was just an honest question. You look at all these here, completely different scale. I just never hear other than Star Wars. And I'm not in a lot of Star Wars, but I do hear. Like, you hear Ryan Dole make his jokes about Black Series, getting rid of it, different things like that. But I don't understand why there's just so much fighting in the G.I. Joe community. I really don't understand why anyone that collects Classify has such a huge problem with the 1/18 scale. Like, that is what we grew up on. And I don't understand why. The only reason I can understand why 1/18 would be upset is because all the focus has been put on doing classified stuff. So it was just an idea and just a thought that I had. That was it. And the more that I had looked at stuff, I'm like, there are all these different scales on different toy lines. But for some odd reason, I felt G.I. Joe is really the most vocal. I don't think I don't think retro Star Wars people care. Like they get their fucking little retro 5 points of articulation that's gonna fit in with their figure, with their 70s and 80s figures, and they love it. My cousin, he was big into Star Wars, and I asked him, and he's like, I don't really collect that. He goes, I like the Black Series when I do pick up figures because I want articulation and better sculpt and different things like that. So, and I am trying to read through these. Thanos says, my issue with scale, I think, is that I want figures that fit together. Okay, and I understand that, but is there a line that you collect that you're mad that there's another that they're making another scale of that figure? I mean, that's my biggest thing. I understand exactly what you're saying. It would be weird. I mean, to me, it would be weird if you're collecting all these Marvel Legends and all these 6-inch figures, but then you're like, I'm only collecting 1/18 scale G.I. Joe. Now, unless if you just like, I have a whole room and it's like, hey, it brings me back. I didn't care. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. No. Don't try to get me angry. Listen, I've seen people get angry on purpose. Listen, gotta let your anger come when you're actually mad. Don't just get angry for angry's sake so you can try and get more people to tune in and all that other shit. But yeah. So like Matthew here says, let's see. I don't care about scale. I use 132. Yep. 1/18th, 1/12, 1/10 scale. Same shot and looked awesome. Yeah, and if you know how to do like forced perspective, you can do that. I had ideas, and I always say, you know what, I'm going to eventually, do my classified, do pictures of classified, and in the background, put his tanks and different things like that from the O-ring. They're far enough back that they look like they're in the background. I just never get around to doing it because then I have to take my stuff outside. I would say the Hiya 1/18 scale G.I. Joe figure is kind of fun. Why do you say that? I'm very interested to hear why you say that and why you think that. So, if you don't mind, just put in the comment why you think that. I think remember G.I. Joe had planned on having both the O-ring figures and the 6-inch classified at the same time. And again, budgetary reasons kept it. There is also someone who left the G.I. Joe team. I believe he is still at Hasbro. If Ryan is still in here, he could probably tell you. He was one of the big people pushing for O-ring. And I think a lot of what it came down to is Lenny is the only designer there. Now, Chad had mentioned that he had heard that the O-ring might be coming back. Or, I'm sorry, 1/18th might be coming back. He didn't say O-ring because he didn't know if it was a 4-inch figure with 3.75, but he said that's what he had heard. Now, maybe it's just that, hey, the line for G.I. Joe, the budget has grown because classified has done so well. And that's how budgets work in big businesses like that. You are now going to increase the budget on G.I. Joe because it is doing so well. And now they're like, hey, you know what? Let's throw another designer on there. He's going to work on the O-rings. Maybe Lenny has looked at who's ever been doing the O-rings for the Transformer mashup. And he was like, hey, you know what? Is it possible that we could use him? Who is ever in charge of the G.I. Joe brand? Looks at him and says, hey, you know what? Maybe we could use that person. I don't really know exactly how all that works and what's going on, Chelsea. I know how it works. I don't know what's going on in there. That would make more sense. And I do think that there is a place for the O-ring. I just don't think the O-ring is nearly as big as what people think that it is. And the reason why I say that is, yes, there's a lot of O-ring Kickstarters and small O-rings, but it's always the same people buying it. And you get a much larger audience that I see that are collecting the 6-inch figures. So, um, so I'm not an O-ring collector, so I don't buy them. As far as people who do, God bless them, it's really not a big deal for me. And that's exactly what you should think. They are more expensive for less. Might as well get the classified version. Okay, so yes and no, but imagine if you are like me and you have a fairly large GI Joe collection of 1/18 scale, and the 112 scale just doesn't interest you. But you're still here and you're collecting your O-ring figures and your 4-inch figures, and you pick up some other modern stuff like that. And now you don't have any G.I. Joe, and that's really what you want. Here's Largo's Lair, Delta 17 doing some cool stuff with O-ring style. Exactly. But going back to this here, maybe you're a G.I. Joe collector and you pick up some Army stuff, but you want new G.I. Joe stuff. And you may like the classified, but you're looking and going, I've really invested so much into it. And now someone's giving you, and yet they're a little taller than those figures. Now you have something, and you go, especially that they look like the classified. So if you like the way the classified look, but you're like, this is not the scale. I don't want to invest that much time into it, or that much money into a different size. Now, I don't have a problem with it because I love the way they look. I love the way they pose. I love the way you can do shots on them. You can say what you want. You cannot stand a 4-inch figure, especially modern 4-inch figures do not stand all that well. They have very small feet. But yeah. But that's just kind of, I don't understand the infighting. And again, it seems to be mostly with the G.I. Joe. And admittedly, that is where I spend a lot of my time. So I wanted to find out. And it seems like other than Star Wars, there's not a lot of infighting between the scales of figures. So, and I am interested to see the Delta 17, but I have now, and I know that there's not a Kickstarter, and I don't think they're out yet. I've been talking to Ken. Ken hasn't told me that they're out yet. I could be wrong. But, a lot of it comes down to, I have, what do I have? I have the Operation Recall and what's the other one? Operation Recall and the other O-ring. I have them on, I ordered the Kickstarter and I'm waiting for them. I didn't go all in, but again, it's like, when are these going to come? You start to go, ugh, there's a really, and Robo Skull. Where am I going to put that? Is that going to go with my O-ring? Is it going to go with my 6-inch figures? It's really hard to tell. So, Longbow, thank you very much. It's been that long since I've ordered it. Yes, Longbow, and I think the figures look really good. But here I'm just kind of waiting. So I just don't understand why there's so much fighting between the two, and it's kind of funny because it's the defense mechanism, and they all do it. Everyone that attacks the other one, they all do it when they say, well, I don't care what you collect, but you're constantly attacking. You're constantly attacking the other people, that collect it, and it comes back, and it's like they're the most defensive people in the communities, and they constantly come back at it. So, Largo's Lair says, scale is important for compatibility if you want to mix toy lines, but I collect several scales. I just keep them different. Exactly. And that's why, like, again, if I had a bigger room, I would have all my G.I. Joe stuff in there, right? Again, I wouldn't have classified, like on the aircraft carrier, because that would just be stupid. But I would have them all in one room. But because I have the whole thing, it kind of So anyway, that was it. Again, sometimes when you're doing a topic and you're solo, you kind of start repeating yourself. I'm trying to read the comments. So anyway, Danny says, I want new in O-ring, but will purchase new versions of old if they are different in some ways. Danny, I think you nailed it right there. That's where the O-ring needs to evolve with G.I. Joe. They should have wrist articulation. They should be able to move their wrist. Every O-ring is doing it. I want new characters. I don't want to see the old characters rehashed over and over and over, especially when you can go online and pick up those O-ring figures sometimes for only a few dollars more than what they want to charge you. But I mentioned before, I want that Cobra Infantry Cobra Trooper in O-ring form with the mask and everything. I just think it'd be really awesome. So, all right, hold on. Okay, so let's get back to a couple things. Let's get away from the topic. Thank you for everyone's input. I feel like most people just are the same. Like, hey, you know what? Whatever it is, just know, like, don't be one of those people that bash on someone else and at the same time you're defensive attacking it. I mean, or you're attacking someone, but then you're saying how you don't. I just hear it too much. It's constant, with it. It just becomes really annoying. And again, I see it in all the forums with G.I. Joe. Okay. So a couple things. So I've already mentioned, obviously, about the Nerdies. I'll do it again. If you haven't voted and you want to vote for me, if you're just tuning in, I was nominated for Rookie of the Year for the Nerdies. Yes, I am going to try and stuff that ballot box. Not going to lie, I would love to win. So, anyway, there's that. If one of the moderators wants to put the forum. But anyway, you should just go there anyway and vote for it. Big Nerdy puts a lot of time and effort into that, to be honest. So vote on everything. Just don't go vote for like me. Go through all that. That guy obviously took time to come up with all those topics. So yeah. So and what can I say? Anyway, so another thing kind of came up. So I'm gonna kind of hear what you guys think of. I haven't really reached out to him yet, but I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. So anyway, Ken Poe. That sounds weird saying. Toy Connections Ken. He reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Hey, Hooded Cobra Commander was wondering if you are interested in possibly being part of Cobra Convergence." Matthew had actually mentioned it to me last year. He said, "Hey, you should try and get involved in that." I still don't fully understand what Cobra Convergence is. I understand there's a lot of YouTubers that do it. And he just, he's sent me a screenshot. And he said, no, he specifically asked if anyone knows you and that you might be interested in it. And so, I went and added myself on Facebook, on the Facebook group page, because of the whole Cobra Convergence Facebook group page. And I know right now, I've seen a couple of his posts that he's, going to be reaching out to some of the newer people that might be interested. And again, I'm not fully sure what it entails. I know a lot of people have done it, and they seem to be different things. So I was just wondering if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing the channel participate in, Cobra Convergence. Again, I try not to be a G.I. Joe channel, although I do. Obviously, it is what I collect most. it's the only thing other than Copperhead, Python Patrol Copperhead, which obviously no one really wanted to watch. But yeah, so I'm still interested to hear, like what his ideas are. And Ken told me, he said, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just people do a live stream and they say they're part of Cobra Convergence and they talk G.I. Joe. other people do videos. It obviously is about mostly, it's mostly Cobra. So I don't think there's much GI Joe because it's Cobra Convergence. But I'm just wondering if that's something you'd like to see the channel be interested in. Again, I know there's so many people, and it's just thank you guys, thank you Johnny, and um, I looked at the views and I'm like, oh, this one is not getting a lot of traction. But anyway, and if we did do something like Cobra Convergence, if you guys have watched it, I think Largo, I think you may have been involved in it before. Um, yeah, what would you like? What type of content would you like to hear or see? Um, Ken had actually, he said, "Hey, it can be any content about anything, Cobra." And I was like, "Well, could I do, could I do a video about, Dr. Mindslaughter, which was an actual figure that my buddy and I made up because we both hated Sergeant Slaughter and Dr. Mindbender, and you take the arms off Sergeant Slaughter, put him on Dr. Mindbender, get rid of the cape, and now you have Dr. Mindslaughter." So I'm like, could I do a video like that? Because I think that would actually be kind of fun, but I don't know how serious it is and how much he takes it serious. I have actually never spoken to Hooded Cobra Commander. I was actually shocked to find out that he even knew who the hell I was. But Ken had sent me a screenshot first saying, no, he specifically asked if anyone knows you and if, you might be interested. So, okay, so Largo says, I haven't participated in Cobra Convergence, but from what I've seen, it's pretty cool if you did Cobra. Yeah, again, like I'm interested. I thought you did. Again, I know there's been so many people that have done it. And I told Ken, I'm like, I'd be more than happy to talk to him, and if it's something that I'm interested, it's something that I would have to, I would definitely have to, I'd have to have to be something that I would enjoy doing, and I think anyone should, feel the same way. Obviously, I'm not heavy on editing videos. All right. It's not my strong suit. All right. If I told you I edit videos fucking awesome, you guys would all be like, you're a fucking liar. But yeah, it's just something. And I haven't even reached out to him. I joined the page and, I kind of said, hey, you know what? If you're interested, let me know. So, yeah. Okay. So again, Thursday with the friend. I mean, I don't know how that would work with Cobra. I mean, I guess we could. I guess there are ways to do things. But yeah. Okay, so Danny, so this is what I was. Cobra Convergence is kind of cool, but some of the storylines were really weird, and that's what I was trying to figure out. So, is Cobra Convergence like one big long story, or is it just because to me, I thought it was like one long story, like one toy tuber talked about one thing, and then they moved on to something else, and it was like all one story. Where I saw other people where they just kind of did their own thing that had to do with Cobra. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm in the middle of editing a half-hour video right now, and it freaking sucks. Yeah, that's why I don't like. I mean, I don't want to say I don't have enough time, although I don't. And it's not like I'm super busy, but it's that taking that time to learn it. Editing is not fun for me. it also takes time to learn. Also, the channel that I've grown, Largo, you may have noticed, everything is DIY. I mean, I just do everything very low budget. And I think if I went high budget or had like a real nice edit on my reviews, people might start to tune away and not think that like I'm not doing what they liked about what I did. But at the same time, I want to do a best of and some other things. I kind of want to make those just look a little bit better. But I do everything on my phone. And again, you can do some amazing things on your phone. I know that. So Ray Paz says, it can work, man. Where is that can do spirit, Lawrence? You can do it. Yes, I am. Remember, I am a Mexican, not a Mexicant. It's not about doing, again. So it's just, I don't know. It was just something that was kind of thrown out there, and I thought about it while we were talking. And I said, you know what? Let me throw it out to you guys and see what you say. I obviously make my own decisions. I think you guys have figured that much out. But yeah. It says guerrilla tactics and flying by your seats pants is the way to go. Yes. I think being limited to just talking about Cobra will get boring after a while. Oh no, okay. So it's for 1 month, but I would only do like one episode. So I would just do one video, whether it be a live stream about something specific or one video. I would not specifically be talking about Cobra for a month. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So that would be one of those. Yeah. I would never listen. The channel, this channel means too much to me. Like I put a lot of work into this, as much as you may not look like I put a lot of work into it, but I put a lot of time and work into this. So yes, I definitely. I would not be talking about Cobra. It would be like one episode. And as Ken was saying, some people did a 15-minute, other people did like 1 hour. Yeah. So now let's see, Danny. So this is interesting. Would that count as Cobra convergence? Because that would be just interviewing the person that created it. I kind of assumed. And again, I don't know enough about it, and that's why I want to talk to him and what his vision is about it, is that it's supposed to be eccentric on, G.I. Joe or on Cobra. Also, I don't know if I've got Hooded Cobra Commander on. I don't know if I could ever get another Hasbro person on because they nixed that figure. But yeah. Maybe you can ask him what got him started on Cobra Convergence. Like, I wouldn't mind having. Okay, so let me explain something about Thursday with a Friend, and this is true. So Thursday with a Friend is supposed to be about people in my community. The only one that I have broken off from that was Shartimus, and that was kind of because Ted kind of threw it at me, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If I could have him on here, I don't have a problem breaking off and doing it every now and then, having someone that has never been involved in my community, and maybe that will change. Maybe that will change, but the whole point of that series is to give back to all of you guys that have supported me. And I don't want to go out and get every big YouTuber. Every other channel does that. They go out and get a big YouTuber. They go out and get someone in the industry. And that's all great. You can see that. But I'm more interested in, introducing you guys to other people that are helping me grow this community and people that you see in the chat. Now, you can go back to say, well, you had Lenny on. I have spoken to Lenny numerous times. He's on my Instagram. He'll like stuff on my Instagram. So he is also someone that is in my community, just not on YouTube. So I don't have an issue with interviewing someone uh, like Hoodie Cobra Commander, but I don't want to. I don't want to stray off that. I don't want to start reaching out to, like I don't want to have like Geek Dead Life on, and I don't want to have Jay from Geek Dead Life on, who has never seen the channel. He knows me because I comment sometimes, or any of the guys from like Toy Anxiety. Like they don't tune in, they're not in here, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know I'm off on a little rant here, but that was the whole point of Thursday with a Friend. It was people that are actually helping support this channel. And again, I've mentioned before, how many times have you been in the chat and I see, Mr. Mad Gus right here? Who the fuck is this guy, man? I want to know more about this guy. Does he have a channel? Does he collect? What was his life? And and that's what that's where it came from. Or someone that's on Instagram or Facebook that is helping support and grow it. So no, Danny, I've never. That's what I'm saying. I've never talked to him. I was surprised that he knew who I was. And when Ken said, "Hey, people are asking if you might be interested in Cobra Convergence," I said, "Well, who's asking?" And he said, "Well, I think his name's Brian. He specifically asked for you if you would be if anyone knew you would be interested." And he sent me over the screenshot because he said, "Hey, I'm looking for newer guys." And I want to get some guys that have never been involved, the newer YouTubers. And he'll probably really want me after I win Rookie of the Year. So I went and joined the Facebook group page. So I don't think he knows who I am on the Facebook group page. I think I'd have to reach out to him and be like, "Hey, just so you know, I am, Punk with Toys." Also, when you do vote, understand he only put Punk with Toys. He left the whole A off. It's okay. It's not like I do like 5 videos a fucking week and G.I. Joe shit. Anyway, no, so that was it. But sorry to go on along. I'm not trying to rant out on it or anything. I really do enjoy that series that I do. There's no Thursday with a Friend there's no prep for it. And what I mean by that is I don't have to have slides and different things like that, but it's a very calming one for me that I can sit back and just get to know someone and get everyone else to get to know them. And I've enjoyed it so much. So, yes, yeah, still going. Good job, bro. Just got home from. I know, like again, again. I wonder if I can go for 3 hours, and I really haven't had an issue. I came up with Boog Nice and Sharp. We all started out together. No, that's cool. Like I don't have an issue with with Shartimus. I know nothing. I know who Boog is. The only thing I can say I think I've ever, I mean, I don't really know anything about him. And Shartimus, yeah, we chat now, back and forth every now and then because he was on the show. But I would never have asked him to be on, and not because I don't like him or not because I thought he would say no or anything like that, but just because he wasn't part of the community. Again, I know where I'm at, and I know the channel has grown, and I really want this. I like the opportunity to give back to smaller content creators that are supporting me. At the same time, I do the one with Lenny. I know that it's going to be the biggest one that I had done. I actually thought the one with Shartimus would actually be a little bit. I thought there would be more people, but I guess maybe because he had been doing that, he had been doing the rounds, that a lot of people had already said, "Okay, well, I've already seen it. I've already made my decision on it." And I knew, I didn't. I had assumed that other than Lenny, because that was just out of people are always going to be looking. Oh, hey, look, there's Lenny, an interview with him. Not realizing I'm not really going to get much G.I. Joe. I had a feeling, and I was right, that the one that I did with Bees Battleground would probably be the best one, the best viewed one. A lot of it had to do with the clickbait title that I did, where I changed Thursday with a friend to Thursday with a nemesis. But that all goes back to just what my son said. And again, Bobby and I become really good friends, and we talk a lot. So I'm just kind of rambling on now. I don't know why. I think you guys know where this leads to. Anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. I gave you guys 3 hours of my time. What did you guys give me back? Well, you guys give me back some entertainment. So I really do enjoy this. Again, I am going to be working on the end. I want to change it up. The end of my reviews where I have all the channel members. So if you are interested to see your name up in the last 2 seconds of any of my reviews, if you become a channel member, I will be doing it this weekend. I want to do it. I want to redo it every month. When we had like 5, 6, 7 channel members, I was able to change it really quickly. But now that there's in the 30s, and I'm not sure like who's going to stay a member because there were so many that were gifted in the past month or so. So again, a lot of fun here. Ray Pass says, in my mind, tonight's topic could be bridged and fixed if Punk and HTC would speak. I'm not saying I won't speak to him. Again, I was surprised that he even knew who the hell I was. There are people that I'm surprised don't know who I am. And then there are people that I'm surprised that they actually do know who I am. So I've been watching your channel since you broke the Action Force rifle on the floor. Did I do that? I don't remember if I started doing action. I know I started doing the G.I. Joe ones. I started in the bar in the basement. They were bad. Then I moved upstairs into the kitchen. You're right. They were pretty bad. I didn't understand how far away I was. I tried doing some in the G.I. Joe room. I did the gung ho one in the G.I. Joe room. I look back at it and I kind of laugh because I'm like so far away. I'm like, as you can see, this is how they look and they compare. And I swear everyone that must have watched that went like, this guy's an idiot. I can't see shit. Big Rib, what's up, Lawrence? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Just get off work. I did. I hope you did too. Thank you for tuning in. I am about to tune off, but you can always watch on the replay. I love when people watch on the replay. It tells, hey, you know what? People enjoy listening to me ramble on, hence the name. I haven't had any weird comments like I was getting before where people say, oh, 5 minutes in, this guy's just rambling on about nothing. And it's like, hey, did you read the fucking name of the show? It's kind of right there. Okay, so I am going to get out of here. Thank you guys all. This Thursday, if you haven't, Matthew, drop another link. Go over, subscribe to Punks on Film. I think we're going to be doing, I don't know, Matthew and I got to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I think we're going to be doing what, maybe the best Christmas movies. And I'm trying to find a way to do it. I kind of want to do the Filoni thing, but hey, you know what. But anyway, Matthew, where are you at? I don't want to tune off until you get that. Well, I guess I could do it, but that would be more work for me. I don't like doing work. I do enough as it is. I give you guys 3+ hours of this seat. Oh, they even went to the bathroom once, and you guys got to watch the hella dope commercial, which still makes me laugh, man. Ted threw that together so quickly. And I just gotta say thank you. So anyway, there it is. Matthew Matson, Punks on Film. Please subscribe to it. It just helps out the algorithm. I've been saying I'm gonna do more videos on it. I haven't. Again, time, effort, it all. We need more than 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys all. I'm gonna be playing my outro video, which we gotta redo too. Anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. Like I said, this weekend I'm gonna be doing the channel members. I want to do a different shot of it. Got to figure out how to do it. So at the end of every video, you'll be able to see your name if you're a channel member. And if 2 years down the road you're no longer a channel member, your name's still going to be there because I'm not going to go change it every single time. Anyway, have a wonderful night. I will see you guys all on Thursday, 10 p.m. Thursday with the friend. I'm sorry, Punks on Film. Take care.